the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel wishing, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to it. Hope you had a good weekend.
Oh, yeah. A recharge, nice battery reset.
Yeah. I don't know if I feel any of those things, but
no.
Happy Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my wife's not feeling well.
Oh, that's true.
It's been kind of a rough weekend there, so, yeah, it's just been, it is what it is. Weather is nice for most part of me.
See, when you're sick, it sucks.
Yeah.
But when you have a spouse or your partner is sick, it's like, it's almost worse because, they're feeling bad, but then you're feeling the guilt of not feeling bad like they feel. So it's like you're feeling bad for them, but also feeling bad alongside. So you get a double dose, basically.
Yeah.
The sympathy and empathy hurt almost as bad as the sickness itself.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Nah, I did feel bad for her. She was not feeling good yesterday, and no COVID. We're all good there. We COVID tested and all that, so fear not. Just
with all these new variants, it's like
colds and flu.
You never know these days. It's like, ugh. It's going to be like that for a couple of years. It's going to be the next follow-up question. Yeah, my wife's not feeling well. Is it COVID?
Right. Corona.
Immediately they start backing up a little bit. How you feeling?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, what's up? How you doing? No. You stay right there. But so she's dealing with that right now, and then there's of course the back, and then you get paranoid yourself because every little thing you're like, all right, am I getting sick?
You're right. Yep, every single time.
Yeah.
Even the hint of a symptom, you're like, the sinus tickle. You're like, no.
I'm kind of in that mindset. It's a question of when. It's a question of if it's when or when.
The bummer is, did she miss school today?
No. Well, I don't know. She's got to go get. I've been trying to talk her to get a sub and all that. And so
the reason I ask is because it's Teacher Appreciation Week.
Is it?
Yes, and I think it extends to all the schools. It is at Del Norte.
Yeah. Well, she's got to go to get lesson plans at least and all that. I don't know how much after that's happening. I don't know, but
parents, thank your teachers. I mean, seriously, take some time and like really like thank them for what they do because they really go above and beyond.
I can attest to that.
Every single day.
I can attest to that. Matter of fact, I was out getting flower seeds for her class this weekend, not knowing what I'm doing.
Right.
We figured it out. I think we'll find out. She's got a project for her kids in school. Mother's Day, actually. But happy Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Got a full sleep for you today. Actually, for those that aren't aware, the Roswell Community Little Theater has their production of Clue starting this weekend and next. But
that was quick.
You get a chance to have some fun with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Roswell Community Little Theater is sponsoring a citywide Clue game in connection with their upcoming production of Clue, which is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Roswell Community Little Theater. Each day this week, we're going to give you a clue that will be released on the Roswell Community Little Theater Facebook page on their website, roswelltheater.com.
That's TheAtre.
Yes. And right here on Mornings with Mike Winters.
Ooh.
The clue is about a location here in Roswell.
Okay. Listen closely.
Where you will find evidence as to who committed the murder. With what item.
Okay.
And in which room, much like the Clue game.
So today is where you get the real nitty-gritty info.
Yes. The Clue cards will be available at locations of evidence, or you can pick one up at roswelltheater.com. When you believe you have the conclusion, take your information and attend any of the performances of the Roswell Communal Theater's Clue. Again, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then, at the appropriate time, they're going to have you state your evidence, and then they're going to choose a winner at each production to receive a prize. On the closing performance, they will have a drawing of all the 6 winners for a grand prize.
Ooh.
And today, they actually started yesterday. So today I'm going to be giving you 2 clues because I don't have a show on Sunday.
We're giving Sundays and Mondays clues.
Yes, or both today, either.
Right.
However you want to look at it. But
you've got until this Friday for the first performance to figure all this out.
Correct. And each day this week I'm going to give you some clues as to which things. This is not relevant to that. This is telling you to get your boosters. But this is my clues.
Your clue today is get your booster.
All right. Clue number 1. Preste l'attention. I'm sure you'd enjoy meeting with Miss Scarlett, where you can get your energy boost this morning with a frozen yogurt breakfast and yogurt mixes at the Hot Bev.
Okay.
That's clue 1.
That's clue 1.
Clue number 2. Or number 2 for the lay.
Okay.
Mr. Green recommends Berkshire Hathaway to receive assistance on finding your very own manor. So clue 1. I'm sure you'd enjoy meeting Miss Scarlett, where you can get your energy boost this morning with a frozen yogurt breakfast or energy mixes at the Hot Bev.
Okay.
And Mr. Green recommends Berkshire Hathaway to receive assistance on finding your very own manor.
Sounds like these are less clues and more just here's where you're going to find stuff.
I'm not saying they're hard clues. I'm just saying they're clues.
Good to know. Good to know.
So go there to those places today where you think those places are. Get your clue card and start your trail to solving whodunit at any of our clue productions, thanks to the Roswell Communal Theater. Start building clues this week and attend any of the performances again this Friday evening, Saturday evening, and Sunday afternoon, and then they'll do it all over again the next weekend. And then make sure you tune in tomorrow. We're going to have some of the cast from Clue join us on the show tomorrow. So there you go. There's your clues for that. Now let me give you the rundown for the show today. I haven't even done that yet. And I'll give those clues.
We've just been all awash in mystery.
Yeah, later in the show, I'll give some more of those clues. But or I'll repeat those clues for those that missed. And if, of course, you missed any of it or didn't understand what I was saying, go to Roswell Communal Theater's Facebook page. You can see the clue there and learn more about what I'm talking about, too. If you're like, I just walked in the middle, I don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah, go to there. We're going to replay an interview with Don Weld talking with Friends of Bitter Lake. He joined us last week, gave us an update what's happening there, and talked about some of the projects and things they've been doing over and of course, gearing up for this fall's Dragonfly Festival. 8 o'clock hour, we got a busy hour for you. We're going to have 2 guests. We're going to have the folks from All Saints Catholic School join us. They've got their big golf tournament and golf ball drop this weekend. They're going to tell us all about that. And then also in the 8 o'clock hour, Jet Black with the Liberty is going to join us. Wow. They've got a few shows and things coming up at the Liberty. I'd like to invite you all out to come out and be a part of. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we're going to replay our interview with Congresswoman Yvette Harrell. She joined us in the 7 o'clock hour Friday, talking mostly border security stuff. Right. So we'll play that interview for you here about 9:15 or so. Plus, we'll have all of your other features, include the news of the local and national variety. We'll repeat those clues for Clue there as well, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do anything else, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm for the next couple of days. Low pressure is moving across northern New Mexico. No rain for us, but we will have gusty wind around 25 miles per hour through the afternoon. Lots of sun, and we'll be hitting about the 90-degree mark. Clear tonight, down to the upper 40s, and then right around 90 again on Tuesday. Breezy and sunny. Wednesday looks about the same. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 55 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 87%. Winds are calm at the moment. We do have a red flag warning. That's going to be taking place until 8 p.m. this evening. That's because of the, I'm guessing, a little bit of wind and warmth today. I don't know. The humidity right now is pretty high. I guess it's going to drop pretty quickly here, but sunny today, high of 91. Winds will be out of the southwest, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, skies will be clear with an overnight low of 50 degrees. Winds will be out of the west, 10 to 15 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, sunny, 89 for a high tomorrow. Winds out of the north, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tuesday night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 57. The winds are going to be blowing out of the south, 20 to 25. Gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. They'll drop down 10 to 15 after midnight. Wednesday, mostly sunny. Highs right around 90 with west winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, 87. Friday, sunny and 96. And then they're talking blowing dust and wind with highs in the upper 90s for the weekend. 98 on Saturday, 95 on Sunday, but windy both days. So with playoff baseball and all that. Matter of fact, in case you hadn't seen, brackets shared there on our Roswell Talk FM Facebook, but high school baseball, Artesia, Goddard, going to square off in the first round in a best-of-3 at Artesia beginning Friday night, and then they'll play 2 on Saturday. Winner goes on to the tournament there. So NMAA made sure that Artesia and Goddard just get to play each other one more time right there in the first round after looking at each other during district play and district tournament and all those things. It's kind of crazy when they do this, but that's what it is. So we'll have those games radio only for you Friday and Saturday. We don't have video rights, so it'll be just radio only. All right, it is 7:17. We're going to take about a 2-minute break here, get you into your Roswell Livestock Report for your Monday. Quick commercial break as well, and then we're going to play our interview with Don Weld from the Friends of Bitter Lake, talking about update and all that good stuff. So that's up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good May run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially young stock cows, high-quality native calves, and yearlings with condition. We expect to sell 1,200 head, breaking down like this: 75 to 100 weighing cows and bulls, 75 to 100 cow-calf pairs and bred cows, 900 to 1,000 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 30 to 40 cow-calf pairs, mostly excellent quality, young, 2 to 6 years old, 40 to 50 bred cows, mostly young, third trimester bred, also 142 steer yearlings, 75 heifer yearlings, reputation quality, 2T partnership and Walker Wells Ranch. These cattle weaned September, October, 3 rounds of shot, PI tested negative, good flesh off short wheat, 650, 850 pounds, mostly 750 to 850. 39 calves, Mr. David Kincaid down at Pinon. Excellent quality black Brangus crosses. Cattle weaned 30 plus days, 400, 550 pounds. 59 light yearlings, Albert Ranch here west of Roswell. Good quality red, white-faced, Beefmaster, and English crosses. These cattle are thin condition, 500, 650 pounds. 56 calves, Miss Carol McDonald here west of Carrizosa. Good quality crossbred calves, thin condition, 375, 475 pounds. 45 calves, W.R. Lindsay, Hillsboro, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus cross calves, medium condition, 400, 500 pounds. 26 calves, Mr. Ed Epinar over at Kenna, New Mexico. Good quality Charolais crosses, medium condition, 350, 500 pounds. And 27 calves, Mr. Oscar Medley, Fort Davis, Texas. Excellent quality black, white face Angus crosses. Medium condition, 400, 550 pounds. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows 9:30 to 9:45. Be selling calves and yearlings about 10 to 10:30. Fairly short on cows today, so don't be late. We expect to sell 1,200 head today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
What's better than Rib Crib's slow smoked ribs? More of them, that's what. Rib Crib presents Rib Fest. We're talking endless slow smoked righteous ribs, plus unlimited sides and bottomless refills, all for only $17.99 after 4 p.m. Choose from Rib Crib's original signature rub or go sweet and sticky. Plus all your favorite sides like coleslaw, mac and cheese, sweet and smoky beans, and so much more. It's a rib-tastic celebration you can really sink your teeth into. Rib Fest starting at 4 p.m. all month long at Rib Crib on North Main in Roswell. Smoking the good stuff since 1992.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning he's actually a member of the Friends of the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, Don Weld with us. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Mike. How you doing today?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great.
Good deal, man, who wears many hats, by the way. You're like, hey, sounds familiar. Yeah, you probably heard him from American Legion or Alzheimer's Association. He's involved in
Friends of the Zoo.
Friends of the Zoo. He's involved in many things here.
Yeah,
but today wearing our Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge hat here.
Yeah.
So
I even got my volunteer
official hat here.
Yeah.
Nice. Of course, I know Earth Day was last week here, and I know that's probably, you guys had a busy day out at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
Last Saturday.
Doing service projects and some conservation efforts going on out there.
Right.
It sounds like I heard a bunch of volunteers came out. It sounds like
we did.
Got a lot done.
We want to give a shout out to all those volunteers that came out and helped us.
Good.
We had a really nice crowd of people out there. Got a lot of stuff cleaned up, made it look really nice.
Yeah.
Still got a few things that there's always
projects to be done. Yeah,
always
they never
something. But we did, that really helped, and thank you everybody that came out. So
and it's kind of been in the world of COVID here. Bitter Lakes really kind of used that time to kind of do some work to the amenity to some of the buildings and facilities and things out there for that folks use out there.
We have there's a bird blind that was in disuse. We shut it down, not so much because of the blind itself, but because of the trail that gets there.
Gotcha.
It was all torn up. It was a mess.
It just wasn't safe for people to go up and down that trail.
And especially as you walk down that trail, then you'd have to go up this ramp to get into the bird blind, the stairs and stuff. That was it was old, rickety. They tore all of that out. We've completely replaced it. It's completely handicap accessible.
Nice.
So you can get your wheelchair all the way down, and motorized ones even.
Oh, good.
Can go all the way down, go up to the bird blind and observe. That bird blind is really nice.
Nice.
Got a lot of stuff in it.
Will that be kind of the home for when cranes and cocoa happen here in the fall, or is that done on a different part of the...
Actually, the cranes go farther down.
Okay, so you can't sit there. It won't be much of a show there.
Yeah, they're a little farther south.
Okay.
And we let them... We try to give them their space pretty much.
Gotcha.
A lot of them like to go up to what is the actual Bitter Lake.
Okay.
What you see when you go on your drive around there, what you're seeing is some ponding areas.
Okay.
And that's the overflow from Bitter Lake and the wells and artesian wells and such.
Okay.
So all of that works its way down, and a lot of the cranes like to stay down at the far end.
Okay.
The south end, but a number of them still go up to the actual Bitter Lake.
Okay.
Which is, I wanted to say unfortunately, but that's not true. We try to keep that cleaned up and pristine.
Sure.
For the wildlife.
Yeah.
So we can't.
It's not a lot of human contact out there. I mean, there's some as needed, but we don't really let the public just kind of voyage out there. When there is trips out there, it's a very
controlled
experience there. Yeah, but on occasion, those do happen.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that one of the perks of being a member. We're
being a
setting
friend.
A friend of the member, or a member of the friends, a friend of the members, a member of the friends,
Friend of a friend, a friend of a member of a friend of mine.
Yeah. Being a member of the friends, we're setting up some tour dates for members. And we're going to have to work this out. We haven't got the details on it yet, but we'd like to get set up where we can take members onto these back roads and let them see some of the back areas.
Peel back the curtain a little bit of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
So you know, and we do some of that at the Dragonfly Festival. Mm-hmm. We do our tours.
Yeah, those tours get access to places that the general public doesn't always get to be a part of.
That's right.
At the refuge there.
So we really enjoyed that.
And this is, if you like to be a friend, and this is something, being a friend of Bitter Lake is this is without the friends, this park or this refuge wouldn't be able to do what it does. It's
right.
You know, we talk about bottomless lakes, and that, you know, that's the place where you go for your camping and picnicking and all that fun. Bitter Lake is that place where, yes, we want the public to come and enjoy it, but it's really showing you the natural habitat, the ecosystem.
That's right.
It's not about camping and fishing and backpacking. It's about, let's see the wildlife and the habitat of southeast New Mexico, and let's see some of the native animals and plants that call this region home. And it is a reserve for them. It's the place for them. We're just visitors watching it, and that's
right.
That's the mindset of Bitter Lake versus Bottomless Lake. So, becoming a friend of Bitter Lake, we want people that you know, care about the wildlife and things, and want to help to preserve and to protect and to help it thrive. And so, as a friend of Bitter Lake, you're going to be doing service project, conservation project. So if you love, you know, digging in the dirt and doing that kind of stuff, and your spouse is tired of you doing it at your house, maybe you can come on and do it out at Bitter Lake.
Go.
You know what I mean? Like, there's only so many holes you can dig up in our front yard. Let's go work at Bitter Lake. Where
there
you
you
can do
go.
it there here, but so that's really what you're needed. And of course, obviously, you're the volunteers and things like when we have Dragonfly Festival. You're the friends are kind of the glue that keeps everything going together.
That's right.
Keeping the weekend going and all that kind of stuff. But so if you love being outdoors, you love to see the wildlife, the butterflies, the birds, the dragonflies, all the different animals that call the Bitter Lake home and want to help protect that, then I encourage you to come out and be a friend. Come be a friend of Bitter
Definitely.
Lake. Come get involved, and even if you're not necessarily, maybe you're not in that side, but maybe you're a lawyer, maybe you're those kind of skills can help serve as well on the legal side and the less sexy side of being a volunteer.
Very, very good point, because we need people to come out and not only become members, but we need some people on our board of directors.
Help make decisions.
Yes, we have some vacant spots, and we would very much like to have people come out, especially somebody who can help us in the secretarial part.
Okay. So someone's got some administrative, office skills, management, some experts in that area. We could use your services to help
sure can
guide on the board here of directors for Bitter Lake, Friends of Bitter Lake. Yeah.
And we'd also like to get somebody with some computer background that might know how to use not Quicken. What's the other
Excel?
one? QuickBooks.
QuickBooks. Okay.
Yeah, we do our financials on a QuickBooks.
Okay.
And the person who does that now would like to back off.
Gotcha. She's ready to step down.
She's ready to step down.
So need another treasurer or someone.
A treasurer, somebody who can step in and take over her, because it's all on QuickBooks. So it'd be if you know QuickBooks, it'd be a snap.
You're just reading the
Step
numbers
right
at that
in.
point.
Yeah.
Okay. So if there's someone listening that'd like to volunteer their time doing that, great way to support the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. And oh, by the way, history buffs too. That's something always. I mean, we talk about nature and stuff, but there's as much human history out there as there is nature stuff. With the Native Americans and their hunting trail or hunting grounds and things that were out there.
Yep.
There's so much human history, as much as human history as there's natural history out there, and so we love So if you're a history buff, there's equal amount of fun stuff, and that's the great part. Unfortunately, we don't have Steve here with us today. He's the guy you want to pick his brain.
He would
and
know.
talk about
he knows
some
all
of
that stuff.
Some of the what the Native Americans were doing with those grounds at the time, and how it's evolved, and the buffalo and all that stuff. He can tell you all about that side of Bitter Lake and all of that too.
All those cliffs to the east of us. Now, they didn't run, the Native Americans, they didn't run the buffalo off the cliff. They ran them up against the cliff where they could get a good shot.
Yes. In essence, put them in a box, basically.
Put them in a box so that they could get the ones they wanted and then get the others out of the way.
Well, and this is the difference between what they were doing. They were taking as needed, and then, of course, the white man came in and
took everything.
We just clear-cutted all the buffalo. And so... but yes, they that was how the natives did that. They would. It's ingenious how they do it. They use the land to their advantage and try to and herd them like cattle, in essence, into a kill zone, basically. And then they pick apart the number they need for the season, and then their hunters would go down and gather and take them and leave the rest of the herd for next season.
Yep. Yeah. We can still find the remains of buffalo that were killed out there. A few bones, skeletons, bones and stuff like that, and even some camping areas where the
occasional arrowhead and stuff turns up too, doesn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, artifact and thing.
Then the cattle drives, they came up the Pecos.
So
they came right through here.
So the cowboys come right up through there too.
That's right. They used Bitter Lake. That's where it got its name. The cowboys called it Bitter Lake because the water was so bitter.
Okay.
Well, it's a salty, mineral-y type water.
Okay.
So it would be a little bitter. It doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
But,
not the best tasting.
Right.
Might add to your coffee.
Yeah.
Help the horseshoe float in the coffee there.
You got it. You got it. And they loved it. The cattle would drink it. It was all right with them.
And to be honest, that's Bitter Lake. And we joke. We've talked about this before. The Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is kind of like the service station of southeast New Mexico for wildlife, and
you got it.
And in earlier days, and New Mexicans too. It's because that's what really it is. We talk about the cranes, but all of those migratory birds that are going from Canada to south or vice versa, we're like south of the border for people that go on East Coast. When you're between North Carolina, where you go for all your fireworks and food and all that. Right. Bitter Lake's kind of like that for these animals.
That's
and
right.
And so
we get the cranes, we get geese, Canada geese, and we get pelicans. We've actually seen pelicans come through here.
That's unique.
On their way north.
Okay.
Because I
figured they'd be sticking more coastal, but
mostly they do. But these come out of the Gulf.
Okay.
And they're headed up north, up to the Salt Lake area a lot.
Okay.
Because
you
see pelicans up there during the summer.
Sure. Well, if you get up, because there isn't a big bodies of water between now and then where they
got to stop somewhere.
Yeah.
And then all the other, like you said, all the other migratory birds too. And that's what we were working on. This what we call the Butterfly Trail. Mm-hmm. It's really a bird haven.
Okay.
They love coming in there because there's trees. We've got the tall ones for them to sit on. We got the lower bushes for them to hide in.
Sure. Probably plenty of food sources for them in there.
Lots of insects. We plant trees that produce a berry that they like.
Okay.
So that's all there. Plus the pond that we have has some fish. Oh, excuse me. That was good food.
That breakfast burrito tastes better the second time around.
But the pond has little fish in it.
Okay.
And some of the birds actually go in for the fish.
Nice.
Mostly that pond is there for the dragonflies.
Gotcha. That's where
they
the
lay
main...
the eggs. And the fish just love that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's... But that's the cycle of life. The dragonflies try to hide their eggs, and the birds try to find them. That's
right.
That's Mother Nature.
So
that's
it works out real good.
Yep, absolutely. Speaking of Dragonfly Festival, I want to mark people's calendars. I know it's on the other side of the summer here, but because the fact that we haven't really had a Dragonfly Festival in a couple years because of COVID... This one's going to be big, better, and bigger.
Our first full-blown one in, 3 years?
Yeah, and so mark September 10th, that Saturday, that's going to be the main Dragonfly Festival day. Right. I'm guessing like years past, there'll be some stuff that Friday the night.
Friday night, we're going to have a presentation.
Okay.
Friday evening. And the astronomy club will have their telescopes out there.
Cool.
To do a little stargazing.
Hopefully the weather will be clouds will be clear that night.
Too often we get cloudy that time, but we're hoping that we will have a clear night and we can do a little stargazing that night too.
Yeah, so please I know just kind of mark your calendars and plan to make. I will tell you this now, as soon as the tour dates and times and everything become available and you can start signing up for those, I will let you know, because I will tell you, even 3 years ago, last time we had those tours filled up relatively quickly. They're free of charge and everything, but you got to sign up, and it's first come, first serve on times. But the good news is they have multiple times throughout the day Saturday. They even do a couple on Sunday to offer people. They do the early bird tour, I'm assuming, is going to be back, and then the Dragonfly tour, and then there's another tour, right? That they do
that's part of the early bird.
Okay.
What we try to do is get out there early enough that the animals are smarter than we are.
I don't doubt that at all.
They go out in the mornings and they eat and whatnot. And as that sun comes up and it gets warm, they find a place to hide and stay cool.
There's I'm down for the day.
Yeah, the sun goes down, or as it starts to go down, cool off, they come back out again and do their scrounging around and foraging. So your best times, if you're going to go out there, your best times is try and hit that gate in the morning when it opens, and it opens at sunrise.
Okay.
And you can go out onto the tour loop, and you sit out there, and you'll see small creatures, and we've got fox, we've got skunks, we've got deer that come through there.
Like all the hustle and bustle of the community opens up at that time.
They will be out there, and the birds will be out feeding.
That's cool.
And again, if you go out in the late afternoon, now remember the gate closes at sunset.
Okay.
However, if you happen to be there
and they close the gate on you,
close the gate, you can still get out.
Good. Yeah, you're not a guest for the night.
No. And in fact, the sheriff wouldn't want that.
No.
We have the sheriff of Bitter Lake out there, and he checks.
Make sure everyone's not hanging out when they're not supposed to be there and all that. But
he's a really good guy, but
so in this case, the early bird really does get the worm. Maybe,
it does.
If you're going to plan your even one weekend, going to get out and go see the. Get out there at sunrise. Make sure you're there at sunrise. Get up dark 30, get your breakfast burrito, and then make your way on out to Bitter Lake and be there when the sun comes up, and you can watch the basically the hustle and bustle of life at Bitter Lake when it's their busy time of the day.
That's right.
So, very cool.
And take a walk through the Butterfly Trail. It's not a long walk. It's you can go down by the main creek and then come back around and walk up by the pond. The major trail is just a straight line.
Okay.
A straight curvy line.
Straight-ish. Got a few switchbacks here and there.
Right,
but, it's going in one direction.
We do that on purpose so that, it provides a little privacy for the animals. And
sure.
such. But as you walk through there...
And if there's any kind of elevation, it mitigates that a little bit for folks, too, that switch back to.
Right. Yeah, because the bottom part out by the actual ponding areas and such, that is not handicap accessible. That is stairs.
Gotcha.
Maybe in the future we'll be able to modify that.
Well, but again, it's the tricky balance you're dealing with here. I'm sure that steps is less impactful on the environment there than creating a switchback trail would be. So, so you guys balance. All right, what's better for, and at the end of the day, you always lean what's better for the refuge, not what's better for people.
Right.
Because the goal is to provide the refuge, a sanctuary for all this stuff. And so if it's conflicting with that goal, you're probably going to err against that. So.
Right. The main trail is completely accessible for wheelchair stuff.
Yeah, and that's it. And like you said, the new bird blind, or the rebuilt bird blind, I should say,
is now accessible.
Same way too here. Yep. So please utilize that and come and get out there and use that. Especially, I imagine, especially in the season changes. Like you said, even the cranes and everything are closer towards the Bitter Lake, but there's so many different migratory birds, and I don't know if we're a little late in the ball game for moving now, or are they right in the middle of heading?
The cranes are gone.
The cranes are. I didn't know if there's some birds that were still.
They leave around early to mid-March.
Okay.
is when because it's a long ways up there.
It is, yeah.
And they only, it's not like getting on a jet plane.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's not.
They got to fly, 50 miles an hour or something.
It's a journey.
It is.
This is.
This is one of several places. A lot of the cranes that go south, they stop here for a while, but then they go on down into Texas and down to the Gulf area.
Okay.
Now, we do have not resident, but ones that stay here for the winter, and then they go back. But for the most part, the largest portion just goes on through.
Okay. I didn't know if maybe some of the geese that were farther north stop here, while ones that were farther south keep going south, or I don't know
either.
Yeah,
but
I would wonder.
Be.
You wonder if it's something to do with that. It's like, well, these came from the northern part there, so they're going to be in the northern part of the South.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they can stand the cold a little better.
Yeah,
when we get chilly during the winter.
Maybe that's as logically as I could think of. There's a reason to do that.
Of course, they got to get up there. That's why they leave about March, because they got to get up there in time for the spring thaw. Because as soon as that thaws, they got to get down, get to business, and start making their eggs and so on.
Yeah.
So it's a rush.
Yeah. Did they do? And they do all that in the spring, right? I mean, as far as there's no like that when they come down for the warmer weather in the winter, they're not
no mating,
making a hatch or a batch of geese there.
At that time, they're bringing their young with them.
Okay. Is that where they're teaching them to be adult birds in the journey there?
Their first time when they go back up. That first year, the yearlings, so to speak, when they go back up, they may be ready. I don't know if they're ready for mating yet or not, but this is their first round trip, so they're learning the procedures.
They're learning the ropes.
Where's the food? Where's the water? Where do we stop?
Got their internal GPS going there to which that part that fascinates me. Like, how do they, How does their sense of direction work sometimes?
They got little satellites.
Yeah, you wonder. It's like is there one bird like pulling a map out? It's like I knew we should have took a left at Albuquerque.
I often wondered that myself, but I don't know what their GPS.
I'm sure there's some kind of internal something that guides them. I have no idea.
They've been doing this for millions of years.
It's instinctual, or
it's
definitely
built in. It's definitely built in.
Just curious, is it just imprinted in their brains when they're born? I'm just curious.
One of the birds we saw, with the garden club here in Roswell does some of the gardening, putting new gardens right around the nature store.
Okay,
they do a lot of that gardening area right there. They also came out and helped us with the butterfly trail, but
that's their baby right there.
Right. They had just put in some new flowering plants.
Okay.
No sooner did they get the plant in the ground, put the water on it, step back. Here comes 2 hummingbirds. I mean, boom,
they were waiting
right there. Yeah. Okay, you got it ready.
They're probably sitting over there. It's like how we sit here in town like, ooh, there's a Texas Roadhouse coming. They're probably over there. Ooh, look, some new flowers over there. They were flower groupies waiting for the restaurant to open up.
And I've had a hummingbird at my house now too. At least one, maybe 2.
Nice. Do you have some feeders out there?
I got a feeder. Yeah, one feeder that. Come to think of it, I got to change that up. It's almost empty.
Time to put some new sugar water in there.
Yeah, you got it.
By the way, that's a great thing to do with kids and family. If you're looking, get a hummingbird feeder and put them out in your backyard. And if you want to do a little kind of nature with your own kids and things, this is a great area to do that kind of stuff.
You got it.
You'll see hummingbirds and all. Maybe if you're more technically advanced, you could put like a little GoPro or some kind of cam on it, and you could just kind of keep watching and catch some of the activity of the birds eating out of your hummingbird feeder and slow it down and watch you could have all kinds of fun with that.
I get all kinds of birds that come through my place. I've got a lot of feeders out there.
Gotcha.
And the hummingbird feeder is just one of them. I have 3 cats and 2 dogs. My cats love to watch the birds. Of course.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Cats are that's their television.
Yep. Yeah, and they get a real kick out of that. So it excites them.
Oh yeah, you see their cackles get all up.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But so far, I've been lucky enough that they're not going after the birds to any extraordinary
Sure.
extent. Anyway.
Once in a while, they kind of want to jump, but they don't have the abilities.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
but please come out, come visit. The weather's getting nicer here. I'd love to have folks come and visit Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. Come to the nature store too if you want some great gift ideas for family. If you're looking for stuff for yourself, books on ecosystems of Roswell and various nature birds and things that we call this area home. You want to learn more about it, there's all kinds of information available at the gift
we
shop
even
there.
have some videos.
Good deal.
Little CD videos.
Okay.
That you can get.
Little DVDs or whatever you call them.
Yeah, those old things.
Yeah. Some 8-track cassette tapes. No.
Well, not quite.
But so and of course all that supports the wildlife
It does.
refuge.
That's where our biggest income to do the things we do. Our biggest income is coming from that nature store.
So please support it by another great way to support the ecosystem and all the great work that happens out at Bitter Lake is by you coming and buying T-shirts and hats and books.
That's right. And we have some local artists who do little things for us.
Perfect.
We have a little wooden dragonfly pin.
Okay.
I didn't bring mine with me today, but those are available out there, and other unique items that you're not going to find them, even here in town.
Okay.
Anywhere else, they're going to be out there, and that's it.
Nice. So it's exclusive, and the only place you can get them is at the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge gift shop there. Real quick, go ahead.
One last thing about the gift shop.
Yes.
We normally have what we call RVers.
Okay.
These are volunteers who stay on the refuge while they're there.
Mm-hmm.
They will man the bookstore.
Okay.
So we get volunteer help.
Okay.
It's one of the ways that we can keep our costs down. That's why our prices are so good. But they can only, or they do only stay certain periods of time.
Gotcha.
This summer, we're not going to have RVers.
Okay.
So we need volunteers.
Okay.
Who would like to come out to the refuge
and spend some time working the bookstore.
Working the bookstore.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you got a couple hours a week, you can donate there, or a day or two a week. Or whatever works in your schedule.
What we would like is somebody who can come in from 10 to 3.
Okay.
Or 10 to 4 or something like that.
Okay. So like a midday thing for a few hours.
They'll be there to open up, and be there to man the bookstore.
Sure.
Steve is there during the week, pretty much.
Gotcha. So if you have questions that you can't answer, whatever, Steve's there to help.
Right, he can help you out, and we'll train you on how to use the register, what the stuff is, and how everything about it.
Cool.
But we would like to get some more volunteers.
And who knows? That's getting in on the perks of seeing and being a part of the volunteer force that is part of the Bitter Lake Wildlife.
That's right. So. If you would like to do that, I suggest really that you come out and talk to Steve.
Okay.
He would much prefer it be done that way.
But if you shoot a message on Facebook or something, we'll make sure that information gets to Steve and he'll reach out to you.
Where am I looking at here? And I'm going to try and look up the phone number
for the office out there. Also, while you're doing that, of course, the Bitter Lake Dragonfly Festival will be happening on Saturday, September 10th. They're going to be doing the drawing again for donations and things here. Were those tickets, are they available now, or will that be closer to Dragonfly Festival?
We're going to start, at the nature store, you can get tickets now.
Okay, so if you want to, while you're there shopping or visiting, if you'd like to get a ticket. By the way, thanks to some fine folks for making a beautiful quilt. It's a queen-size quilt, wall hanging, certificates, and everything. That's for your donation of getting tickets for the drawing here.
Right.
That's what, if your ticket is drawn, you get to win that beautiful quilt.
There's a whole bunch of prizes on there.
Okay.
A lot of them are gift cards at Starbucks.
So if you don't even get the big prize, you got little treats to help. And all of this, again, that money, those tickets you're buying is going back to the projects and everything that's part of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
Now, here's the new number.
Okay.
575-244-6600. 6256.
Okay, 244-6256. I'm going to write that down on this
Yeah,
sheet here.
do that, please.
244-6256, and that's 575.
Right, and that will get you to the front desk at the nature store.
Very good. So reach out there if you want to be a volunteer or want more information about that,
or just want to find out anything else about
general questions, hours of operation, what you can do, what you can't do out there, any of that stuff. They'll be happy to answer those questions for you. So, very good, Don. Do we get it all?
I'm thinking did I find? Oh, one more thing.
Yes.
Walking trails.
Okay.
Not only do we have that butterfly trail as a walking trail, that's nice, but like I said, if you're going, it's a hiking trail because you can go these steps down and loop back around, or you can just take the one that's up on the top.
So
now, if you go down to the south end, you drive down the route.
Okay.
All the way at the south end, we have a now the name just went away from me. Anyway. There's a parking lot all the way down at the south end.
Okay.
And there's a trail that goes around that out there. That trail is about 3 mile walk.
Okay. So if you're looking for a nice place to
And
walk,
it's a good hiking walk.
Very
Yes.
good.
And it takes you out around the back end.
Make sure you get good footwear and plenty of water when you head out there. But
make sure you're wearing the right kind of shoes and that you bring your water, and you'll see the wildlife out there pretty much all day long.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's the best place.
If you're like, I'm not about being here at dawn, but I'll be here at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and maybe that's the trail you want to take.
That's right.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Yeah.
But once you get there, ask about this stuff, and they'll be happy to point you.
Nature store can tell you exactly what's going on.
They can give you the maps and everything you need to find where you're going out there. So, very good. But come out, bring your families. If you're looking for something great to do here in Roswell, don't forget Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is literally an oasis in the desert that you can come in and spend. Yeah, come and spend time there seeing wildlife and nature and a different side of southeast New Mexico you probably never thought before. So, very cool. Well, thank you, Don, as always. Appreciate the visit. We'll see you next time. All right.
Thank you, Mike.
All right. Don't work too hard.
You have a good day.
This guy does more work retired than any person I know that's retired. Thank you, John.
Yeah, I have a full-time job.
He does. He works harder now than he did when he's like, I got to unretire just to get a break around here. Thanks, Don.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Roswell Museum is announcing the return of its film series program. Starting this week, in fact, the springtime series will include 4 Thursday nights starting this week, showcasing films selected by Marie Alarcon. Alarcon is a Philadelphia-based multimedia artist and current Roswell artist in residence. Showtimes are set for 6 p.m. each Thursday evening. The first night features a series of short films, including Afronauts, a film about the little-known 1960s Zambia space program. A Carlsbad man is identified as the victim of a deadly crash in West Texas. It happened Friday on US 62, about 4 miles northeast of the town of Ropesville, Texas. Authorities said 63-year-old Scott Douglas Bendixson was the passenger in a car that was struck by a pickup truck that crossed the center line. The 2 drivers both suffered non-life-threatening injuries, but Bendixson died of his injuries at a local hospital. The crash happened just after 10 p.m. Friday night in Hockley County, Texas. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Video streaming has hit a big wall. Too many streamers, family budgets stretched. Netflix is already laying off. In a few days, we'll all know how much trouble streaming really is in. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. Post a job for free and find qualified candidates quickly at linkedin.com/Kim. Each May, the nation's biggest advertisers gather, ready to allocate money for advertising. They meet with the biggest networks. It's a private event called The Upfronts. The networks preview their new fall lineups, and in 4 frenzied, boozy days, billions of advertising dollars are awarded. Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Peacock, and other advertising-supported streamers are hoping for a windfall. But the traditional networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and A&E, believe that as subscribers continue to cancel their streaming services, advertisers will look back and take a renewed bet on traditional television. That's free TV. America's streamers are in very big trouble. Follow me at twitter.com/KimCommando. If you've recently bought anything, you've probably noticed that prices have gone up on almost everything, especially on essentials like gas, groceries, and utilities. That's why it's a great time to save on your prescription costs. With GoodRx, you can instantly compare prescription prices at pharmacies in your neighborhood and find discounts that could save you up to 80%. It's free and easy to use and works whether you do or do not have insurance. Even if you have insurance, GoodRx may actually beat your copay price. Find prescription savings at pharmacies like CVS, Kroger, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Bonds, Walmart, and more. Then take the money you've saved and put it towards all the things that have gotten more expensive. For simple, smart savings on your prescriptions, check GoodRx. Go to goodrx.com/Kim. That's goodrx.com/Kim. goodrx.com/Kim.
GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used in place of insurance, Medicare, and Medicaid. In 2021, GoodRx users saved 81% on retail prescription prices.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm for the next couple of days. Low pressure is moving across northern New Mexico. No rain for us, but we will have gusty wind around 25 miles per hour through the afternoon. Lots of sun, and we'll be hitting about the 90-degree mark. Clear tonight, down to the upper 40s, and then right around 90 again on Tuesday. Breezy and sunny. Wednesday looks about the same. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Well, the Goddard Rockets had a chance to get the district championship in baseball this past Friday, but lost the first game of a doubleheader against Artesia, and that was the clinching victory for Artesia. They win district by a 4-1 count in that game. Goddard ends up winning the second game 2-1, but Goddard gets the 10th seed, Artesia gets the 7th seed in the upcoming 4A playoffs, and you know what that means? They're going to play each other. That'll be a best 2 out of 3 starting Friday in Artesia. The other playoff pairings were announced, and NMMI gets the 3rd seed in Class 3A, but the Colts won't play until May the 12th. They'll take on the winner of Cobre and Zuni. And Gateway Christian is in action today. The single A playoffs haven't been announced yet. Gateway plays at Dora at 3 o'clock. Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Target has agreed to pay $5 million to settle a California lawsuit alleging the retail chain changed prices on its mobile app after customers entered the stores and charged them more than advertised. The lawsuit alleged that Target used a technology that enables businesses to identify customers' locations and makes their apps adapt to that location. The retailer didn't clearly disclose to customers where some items could be purchased for the advertised price, online or in the store. Google has expanded options for keeping personal information private from online searches. The company said it will let people request that more types of content, such as personal contact information like phone numbers, email, and physical addresses, be removed from search results. The new policy also allows the removal of other information that may pose a risk for identity theft, such as confidential login credentials. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
All right, let's get out the old grocery list here. Let's see, eggs, milk, bread, insurance. I don't want to shop for insurance.
Fortunately, you don't have to. George Gandy Insurance is here for you, shopping and comparing rates from different insurance carriers to save you money, time, and hassle. Visit a George Gandy Insurance location near you today.
We keep you covered. George Gandy Insurance.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 1 in 3 snake bite victims is drunk. 1 in 5 is tattooed. Hold my beer and check this out. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:59. Town Hall News about to get underway here in just a few seconds. Stay tuned next hour here about 8:15 or so. We're going to be joined by the folks from All Saints Catholic School. This weekend, they've got their big golf tournament and charity golf ball drop, raising funds for All Saints Catholic School. We'll talk all about that. I know you still got a chance to get in on the charity ball drop, maybe even a few slots left on the golf tournament as well. So we'll talk about that with them next hour. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Relief workers await the arrival of dozens of Ukrainian civilians evacuated from a massive industrial plant in Mariupol under siege by the Russians. The evacuees being taken to a Ukrainian-held city about 140 miles northwest of Mariupol. Here's the BBC's Joe Inwood.
Time and again, humanitarian corridors for the civilians stuck under the Azovstal steelworks had been proposed. Time and again, they'd failed. But around 100 did manage to make it out. They emerged from the sprawling tunnels, many of them needing help over the wasteland that greeted them. This is a significant diplomatic achievement for both the Red Cross and the United Nations. The situation is still desperate for around 1,000 civilians who remain trapped inside the plant and the Ukrainian soldiers there.
Congressman Jason Crow says it's crucial that Ukraine's army gets the resources it needs to defeat the Russians. Colorado Democrat, part of a congressional delegation that visited Kiev over the weekend.
I came here as a member of the Intelligence Committee and the Armed Services Committee and as a combat veteran myself with 3 areas of focus. Weapons, weapons, and weapons.
The European Union debating planned new sanctions against Moscow. There is a lot of cleanup work ahead around Andover, Kansas, slammed by a powerful tornado on Friday. Jonelle Farney's home taking a direct hit.
You see it on TV, but you think, until you're standing here in person thinking, this was my home. It's different. It's hard to kind of wrap your head around all that.
She spoke with KAKE-TV. Forecasters warn of the possibility of more severe weather this week across the South, as well as parts of the Midwest and the Plains. Watching Wall Street right now, stocks in positive territory with the Dow up 65 points, NASDAQ ahead 71, and the S&P trading 9 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I'm about to compare a pepper shaker to a cash-out refinance. Hang with me. You know when you're at a restaurant and they ask, would you like some fresh ground pepper? And then they crank that giant tube, but almost nothing comes out? For me, only a certain amount of time is socially acceptable to wait. I know that getting that pepper out might make my life better, but it just seems too impossible. And that's what we hear people say about the cash-out refinance. People realize that the value of their home has gone up like hot pepper the last few years, leaving all this extra money sitting inside their home. But is it too hard to get out? It's Ryan from United Faith Mortgage. If you're interested in cashing out the extra pepper in your home, we're good at doing all the work while you just sit back and relax. And often, your mortgage payment and years in the loan will stay the same. If you'd like to hear about your options,
we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
The new Hungarian parliament holds its inaugural session today. Prime Minister Viktor Orban beginning his 4th term following a landslide win, giving his party and allies a 2/3 majority.
Of the 199 deputies in the new parliament, 135 belong to Mr. Orban's Fidesz party and its close Christian Democratic ally. 6 opposition parties, which challenged them in the recent election, have only 57 seats. With its 2/3 majority, Fidesz can continue to adjust the constitution the party created in 2011. Since he won the election, Viktor Orban has announced a pension increase and the extension of a price cap on fuel and basic foods.
The BBC's Nick Thorpe. Coast Guard officials searching the office of a Japanese tour boat operator. It's part of a criminal probe into suspicions that professional negligence caused the sinking of a vessel carrying 26 people last month. Townhall.com. Germany reporting some progress in weaning itself off Russian-supplied energy.
A German official says the country should be fully independent of crude oil imports from Russia by late summer. Economy and Climate Minister Robert Habeck says Europe's largest economy has already reduced its share of Russian imports for oil, coal, and natural gas. He says those steps mean increased costs for consumers, but adds they are necessary if we no longer want to be blackmailed by Russia. In the meantime, the European Union is considering an embargo on Russian oil and has already decided to ban Russian oil imports starting in August. Jason Walker reporting.
New Zealand welcoming back tourists from more than 50 countries for the first time in more than 2 years after dropping most of its remaining pandemic-related border restrictions. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday. Hope it's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's sun is shining. Sky's clear at the moment.
It was oddly kind of foggy this morning. A little bit of mist and fog kind of hanging low this morning.
Yeah, a little bit of humidity. But
of course, I drove in before the sun came up.
Yeah, I got in right as it was coming up. So, but yeah, it looks nice out there. So, it's supposed to be a kind of it's typical spring southeast of Mexico, 90s
It's
windy.
gonna be hot, windy.
Yeah, all that. So, we do have a red flag warning today. That's in effect now until 8 p.m. this evening. So, there is that. But overall, it looks pretty anyway.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Well, it's still, sure.
Yeah. Well, it's not a blowing.
Exactly. Trees blowing out quite nicely.
Yeah, it's nice green.
Spring be springing around southeastern New Mexico.
Planting and all that stuff. The nurseries are hopping right now, I'm sure.
It's really nice to get out to the bird sanctuary.
Yeah.
The nature walk over there by off Sycamore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A lot of beautiful blooming stuff out there.
Yeah, or check out the Butterfly Garden at the zoo. Or
that's opening up this Saturday.
Yeah. Or check out, we just had Don on talking the Bitter Lake interview.
Yes, sir.
Go out there to Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge and see spring at the refuge.
Spring is just pretty in southeastern New Mexico.
It is.
Go soak it in.
In between the winds and the dust.
Yeah, if you can ignore the brown and the blowing.
Yeah.
There's some real nice parts.
Nuggets, oh beauty there.
Yeah. You gotta go, suss them out. Just to dig a little bit.
Yeah, throw a little water on it. Oh, your mom shared a groaner meme.
Oh, of course she did.
I can't remember it. I saw it yesterday, and I was like, oh.
She's been doing a lot of those lately, though.
Oh, that was a good one. I can't remember which one it was I saw yesterday.
Then again, there's the one I posted, violins never solve anything.
It was I did see that. Did she share it first?
No, I shared that.
Okay.
That was just very much in her vein. Hang on, bear with me. Oh, that's why.
Oh yeah, for those who don't know, Sean's mom is famous for sharing the most,
just the cringiest,
the puns of puns.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, let's see. There's some stuff about Naomi Judd passing away.
Yeah, that was very sad to hear.
All right, this one. I remember, and I saw this one yesterday, too.
Yeah.
Mountains are not funny. They're hill areas.
Yeah. That's the one. They're hill areas.
They're hill areas.
That's the one I saw.
That's pretty good.
Mountains are no
That's one
fun.
of those where
They're
it's just
hill
like your
areas.
face, you smile and it hurts your face because you're like, why am I smiling so hard at this?
That's the one I saw yesterday, and I just groaned out
They're
like a visible groan of, oh.
hill areas. Pretty good, Mom. That's pretty good.
That one I enjoyed. It was in such a bad way.
With sufficient thrust, pigs fly just fine.
Yeah. I saw that one.
It's just a little airborne. It's still good. It's still good.
As a pig connoisseur, she you know, as a keeper of pigs, yeah, I found that joke surprising coming from her.
It's a tough one too to get any of her pigs proper thrust. They're all rather heavy.
They are. Some good bacon there.
Oh, the best. Fresh.
Do any of those pigs turn to bacon, or are they more pet pigs?
They are just, as far as I know, pets. I mean, I don't think that she's ever gotten any sold that have gone to slaughter. I'm pretty sure they've all gone to homes.
Okay.
And matter of fact, and this is probably not a great business practice, she's voiced if you ever you don't want it anymore, just send it back.
Oh.
It's like, Mom, that's not how business works. Put a no refund sign on your door, dadgummit.
Yeah, you can't fall in love with your product. It's kind of a bad thing. In
Literally
business.
getting high on your own supply.
So bacon, the pig will be safe until I start smelling bacon, and I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Weirdly, she enjoys her pork products just like most. I mean, she just does it separated from the rest of them.
She isn't like
she doesn't ever make eye contact while she's enjoying pork chops.
She's not sitting on the back porch looking at the pig pen, eating bacon and ham.
Just going. You're next,
honey. Let's have pork chops for dinner.
I'm not gonna lie. If I saw some dude sitting on a porch eating a leg of Jim, I'm intimidated.
Yeah.
Just making eye contact with me and just taking a bite out of a thigh.
It is intimidating.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Man, now I want some bacon.
Kind of feeling some thigh meat. Who's weirder?
Anybody got any shoulder? Go for some shoulder right now. Pork shoulder. Actually, it does sound good.
Yeah, it really does.
Nice ham or nice shoulder. Would be good. Anyway, I just talked myself into hunger. And
Morning radio is largely a reason for my gout.
Oh, here comes the foot pain. But, well, happy Monday. Hopefully you're choking down breakfast as we're telling this story right now.
Yeah.
But hope you had a good weekend. Yes, other than my wife being sick, it's a pretty good one. So,
it's clue time.
Let me give you a clue. Hi-yo. The Roswell Community Little Theater. First off, would love to invite you to come out to see their performance of Clue. They've got performances this Friday, Saturday nights, and Sunday afternoon, and then next Friday, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. But they also want you to get involved in their big Roswell Clue game. They're sponsoring the citywide Clue game in connection.
Every time you say clue, I'm just going to ding it.
Okay. All right. Well, get your finger ready.
It's ready.
A citywide Clue game in connection with their upcoming production of Clue on stage. Each day this week, a clue will be released on their Facebook page, the Roswell Community Little Theater's Facebook page, their website, which is Roswell Theater, TRE at the end.com, or right cheer on Mornings with Mike Winters. The clue, bell failed, is of a location here in Roswell where you will be able to find evidence as to who committed the murder, with what item, and in which room. Very similar to the clue.
Colonel Mustard with a candlestick in the study.
Yes, you missed a ding, by the way.
Oh. I was busy riffing.
When you believe you have a conclusion, pun not intended there, attend either or any of the performances at the Roswell Community Theater. Again, this Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon.
7:30 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday matinee at 2:30.
There you go. And then we'll do it all over again next weekend. They'll choose a winner at each show, and each of those winners will receive a prize.
Nice.
And then on the closing performance, they're going to have a drawing, and all 6 winners will be put in the drawing. One of them will receive a grand prize. Now, I've got 2 clues for you Monday. Okay? Clue number 1. I'm sure you'd enjoy meeting with Miss Scarlett, where you can get your energy boost this morning with a frozen yogurt breakfast and energy mixes at the Hot Bev. Clue number 2. Mr. Green recommends Berkshire Hathaway to receive assistance on finding your very own manor. So those are clue 1.
Miss Scarlett and
Mr. Green. And clue 2, Mr. Green.
Gotcha.
All right. You missed 3 clues there. I got you back.
Thanks, bud.
So.
Sorry, I was listening to the info.
He was getting clued in. But he dies. No! I saw Forrest Gump again over the weekend. It was on, and we stopped at it and started watching it.
That was actually an interesting conversation I heard somebody bring up on a podcast recently. It's like all the movies that everybody's like, you should see this, you should check that out. How often are you just like, is there like a series of like 5 or 10 movies, TV shows, whatever, that you just, it's like a comfort zone or like a meal that you're familiar with that you just sink back into? I feel like Forrest Gump's one of those for me. It's like I could watch it 20 times and be fine.
Yeah. There's certain movies that, that one, any of the Anchorman movies.
Sure.
1 or 2.
I will say Hot Rod, the movie Hot Rod.
Yeah, for you, definitely.
Easily watch, over and over again.
A lot
of comedies, generally comedies they fall into that category.
And then there's movies that used to be in there and have fallen out of there and things,
Dramas are kind of a harder sell for me as far as like, movies with rewatch value. Forrest Gump's one of those.
Well, see, like Casino would have been one of those movies. Not so much anymore.
I'll give you a great one. What Dreams May Come. I've weirdly seen that movie like 12 times, not intentionally. Yeah. It was one of the kids' mom's favorite movies, so she watched it a lot. But I've seen it, vicariously, just a lot of different viewings of like walking in the middle or different parts of it. So I've seen that movie a lot.
See, my wife, like that movie for her would probably be Grease.
Okay, that's another one I've probably seen. Grease, and then weirdly Grease 2. I've probably seen Grease 2 more than most.
Actually, I've seen Grease 2 multiple times, but not enough, not nearly the amount of.
No.
And to be honest, the Grease thing even happened before I met my wife because my parents bought a VCR back, like they were one of the early people to buy a VCR. It was kind of like we were like one of the first kids on the block to own a VCR kind of thing. Yeah. And
did you hear about the Sisters? They have VCR.
Yeah, they paid like $1,000 for this thing, and it was a VCR. It was a 2-piece jobber, and it had one was the part you put the tape in. And it was VHS. We did get the VHS version. Nice. Had the pop-up deal, and then there was a second part that was actually part of a camera battery pack. If you so wanted to take a camera out to video things, we didn't have that, but that's what that was for.
Gotcha.
And then it came with a remote on a cord.
Oh.
That you stretched out and it had a cord. But anyway.
The cord in the top, so it's like in television style?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So there wasn't a lot of video stores yet available to people. So that was very limited selection on that. So one of the first touting features of a VCR was you can record what's on TV and watch it anytime you want.
Sure.
So my mother.
Oh God, you just hinted at cigarette-scented memories for me.
So my mother went and recorded what they were doing was I think it was ABC was showing a prime time like Friday night movie or whatever, and it was Grease.
Okay.
And so my mother recorded Grease on a VHS tape.
Nice.
My brother and I proceeded to watch said tape because I was for a while there the only tape with any kind of content on it that we would watch. And this was pre-cable, so that we only had like 3 channels. So I watched Grease a lot, and particularly fast forwarding and rewinding to the race scene where it was the race in the gully, and the white car and the black car and cutting in and hey, I've seen that scene about 1.7 zillion times. But I remember, so I watched it 1,000 times as a kid, and now I married a woman who that's her favorite movie. So I've seen another 1.2 million times as an adult. As well. So I know the movie.
It was destiny.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
You're the one that I want.
It was just meant to be.
I still want that red car.
You saw her from afar and you thought, She's the woman who can make me feel like sha-na-na-na-na, shading-a-ding-da-dong.
Yep.
He danced up to her. Ip-da-dip-da-dip-doo-up-da-dooby-doo, sha-na-na-na-na, shadib-da-dip-da-dong.
And if I remember correctly, Sha-na-na had a television show on the TV at the time, so they were popular. So when Sha-na-na shows up on Grease.
The only thing I know about Sha-na-na is from the Hanukkah song by Adam Sandler. And that's that Arthur from Sha-na-na is Jewish. Arthur from Sha-na-na and Arthur from... I'm sorry. Who is it? Somebody from Sha-na-na and Arthur Fonzarelli.
I don't know.
I have to listen to the song again. But one of the members of Sha-na-na is Jewish.
Okay.
Thanks, Adam Sandler, for that knowledge.
Now, this is a weird thing. I gotta move on. I got interviews and things. But that's the second singing Adam Sandler song reference I've had today, and it's 8:19 in the a.m.
Wow.
You hit me there, and then just as I was about to leave to go to work, on the news, they were doing a story about some kind of lunch lady thing, and they were playing the lunch ladies.
Lady land.
They were playing lunch ladies.
Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe.
So I'm like, this is weird now.
That's
Two
great.
referenced Adam Sandler songs in basically, I've been awake for 3.5 hours now.
Surely we can fit one more in before the 10 o'clock hour.
But I used to watch Sha-na-na as a kid on TV. So anyway, let me give you the rundown. I got way off the rails
It
there.
happens.
It happens. Here in just a few minutes, we'll get you up to date with the weather. Then we're having the folks from All Saints Catholic School going to join us here in just a few minutes. This weekend, they've got their big All Saints Catholic School golf tournament and their charity ball drop happening this weekend, May 7th. So you can win some cash and all that. And again, of course, it's all a fundraising event for All Saints Catholic School. So we'll talk with them here in just a bit. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street Town Hall business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. It is 8:21. Let's sha-na-na you into the weather. Good night, sweetheart. It's gonna be warm today. Do.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm for the next couple of days. Low pressure is moving across northern New Mexico. No rain for us, but we will have gusty wind around 25 miles per hour through the afternoon. Lots of sun, and we'll be hitting about the 90-degree mark. Clear tonight, down to the upper 40s, and then right around 90 again on Tuesday. Breezy and sunny. Wednesday looks about the same. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 59 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 83% with winds. Currently calm at the moment. We do have a red flag warning for today. That's in effect now through 8 p.m. this evening. And looking at the weather today, I don't know. It doesn't look as red flaggish as other. Like the humidity right now is 83%. I'm guessing that's going to drop. That's a little high to be called a red flag. And then the winds are 10 to 20, 91. I guess it's just because it's dry. We didn't get a lot of moisture. And I think that moisture that we might have got yesterday really didn't amount to anything here. I know Lee County was getting a lot of thunderstorm warnings and tornado watches and whatnot yesterday, but not so much for us. So I'm guessing that's why. It's just dry. But anyway, we do have the red flag warning through 8 p.m. today. It's going to be sunny, high of 91, west winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight with an overnight low of 50. Winds will be out of the west 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunny and a high of 89. Winds out of the northeast 10 to 15 miles per hour in the morning. 15 to 20 for later in the day, but could see some wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. For tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 57. Winds will be breezy out of the south, 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. They'll drop down 10 to 15 after midnight. Wednesday, mostly sunny, highs around 90 expected with west winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then looking at the rest of the week on Thursday, sunny, high of 87. Friday, sunny and 96. And then weekend, hot but windy. It's look like we're going to be in a big windy dust bowl this weekend. Areas of blowing dust Saturday, sunny and hot, highs of 98 and breezy. Sunday, areas of blowing dust, sunny, highs of 95, and windy. So I wish I had better news for the weekend. Maybe that'll change a little bit as we get closer to the weekend there. All right, it is closing in on 8:24. We're going to take a commercial break here. I have not seen our guests yet, so we'll give them a few minutes. If not, we'll come back on the other side and chat about other things. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
When you're not feeling well, the last thing you want to worry about is how soon you can get in to see your healthcare provider, or even finding a provider if you don't have one. Well, now you can feel better, knowing that the Loveless Healthcare Center in Roswell offers appointments for when you're not feeling well, or for checkups, annual exams, or any chronic issues that need attention. To schedule an appointment or to find a new healthcare provider, call 575-625-3222 today.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
When Bluebell takes milk chocolate ice cream and loads it with chocolate-coated peanut butter cups and peanut butter cookie dough pieces, you get chocolate peanut butter overload. Better by a country smile.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Albertsons United Supermarkets and Thriftway Supermarket in Ruidoso.
Hey CVE members, have you scheduled your no-cost home energy audit? If not, we're getting close to summer and hotter weather. It's time to sign up. Call 575-746-3571 to get your name on the list for a free home energy audit. Weather stripping, new door sweeps, minor repairs, and much more. Start saving money and keep that purchased air in your home. Central Valley Electric Cooperative is happy to partner with Green Metal Energy for this valuable audit. Again, 575-746-3571.
All right, let's get out the old grocery list here. Let's see, eggs, milk, bread, insurance. I don't want to shop for insurance.
Fortunately, you don't have to. George Gandy Insurance is here for you, shopping and comparing rates from different insurance carriers to save you money, time, and hassle. Visit a George Gandy Insurance location near you today.
We keep you covered. George Gandy Insurance.
What's better than Rib Crib's slow smoked ribs? More of them, that's what. Rib Crib presents Rib Fest. We're talking endless slow smoked righteous ribs, plus unlimited sides and bottomless refills, all for only $17.99 after 4 p.m. Choose from Rib Crib's original signature rub or go sweet and sticky. Plus all your favorite sides like coleslaw, mac and cheese, sweet and smoky beans, and so much more. It's a rib-tastic celebration you can really sink your teeth into. Rib Fest starting at 4 p.m. all month long at Rib Crib on North Main in Roswell. Smoking the good stuff since 1992.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or a frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
Hear the call of the wild this summer with summer camp at the Spring River Zoo, with camps for kids age 4 through 17 and 7 weekly camps offered in June and July. Camp topics include predators and prey, camouflage, zookeeper roles, and zoo research. Lunch and snacks are provided daily, and all kids get a camp t-shirt. Space is limited. Sign-ups are on now. Find more details on each camp at springriverzoo.com and register your kid's spot now through roswellconnect.com. Go wild this summer with summer camps at the Spring River Zoo, 1306 East College.
As part of the ongoing effort to keep the roads of New Mexico safe, we would like to share a list of things you should never attempt behind the wheel of your automobile.
Texting your friends, wrestling your friends, eating a sandwich, making a sandwich, hugging your kids, buckling your kids, brushing your hair, brushing your teeth, flossing your teeth, adjusting your seat, rubbing your feet, reading the paper, using a shaver, applying makeup,
you get the point. A large number of car crashes occur when the driver is doing something other than driving. Drive safe, New Mexico.
Paid for by the New Mexico Department of Transportation and aired in cooperation with the NMBA and the station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
There's new ones in there. I know, I just haven't heard them yet. So
I was hoping. I was like, oh.
They're there. Hey, I've not seen our guest yet, but I do want to invite you out. They got the All Saints Catholic School has their golf tournament this Saturday, May 7th, at the Nancy Lopez Spring River Golf Course. 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. shotgun starts. If you can go to the pro shop there at the Nancy Lopez Golf Course, you could sign up through there. Also, on Saturday, they've got their charity ball golf ball drop, and that's going to be at the Spring River Golf Course there at the driving range. And that's going to be after the morning flight takes off. Takes off at the golf course there. You can purchase $5 a ball or $20 for $5. You got to be at least 18 to enter, and the winning ball gets half the pot or closest to the pin. If there is a tie, half the pot is split. So get in there and get your chance to win some cash. Go to All Saints Catholic School's Facebook page to learn more and to sign up and all that good stuff, too. Or you can sign up at the pro shop there. So.
This is one of the biggies for them, so help them out.
Absolutely, yeah. They that and their Mardi Gras event, probably their two biggest fundraisers that they do. And they just had that, a month or so ago.
Yep.
And so come on out and do some golf. Weather's going to be a little warm this weekend, a little blowy, but that don't stop golfers.
Nah.
They call that a obstacle.
That's right. It's what do you call it?
The world is your sand
handicap.
trap.
It's a handicap.
There you go. The world is your sand trap.
Around here it is.
I got to share this.
Okay.
It's so funny. I shared it with Sean already, but I found this just perusing. It was on. It's actually a Twitter page called Clown World, which is kind of like libs of TikTok, except they show pictures and they're a little more graphic. But anyway, there was one post that made me laugh, and it says. This is one they just share, just like the libs of TikTok. Sexism is alive in America. Went to get an oil change, and the all-white males laughed at me and told me to get lost. Probably jealous I drive a Tesla and they don't. Just going to leave that right there. Leave that right there. Move on with
getting an oil change for her Tesla.
Yeah. I want to get that out there.
How come everybody's laughing at it? White libs!
Just want to put that out there and just leave it sit there and walk away.
Libtard. So I got to tell you what happened at the start of my weekend.
Yes.
And this is how there. I have certain times when I go like full blown dad mode, and I don't really realize it until after the fact. I'm like, wow. One such moment happened on Friday. My kids, and by association myself, are very into a show called Bluey. It's a kids show. It's made in Australia. It's an animated series. The kids love it. It's one of those shows that I can actually enjoy because I feel like the writing is such that they know the parents are watching with their kids, and so they kind of like, tinge, the humor kind of towards like moms and dads that are just like, ugh. And so they kind of, cater to that.
All right.
So I enjoy watching the show with them. Well, so season 1 and 2 are out on Disney Plus. It's an Australian series, and right now they're currently airing season 3 in Australia.
Gotcha.
We don't have access here in the States, so I've been trying to figure out ways to get season 3. Well, I found a website that you can actually stream episodes from season 3. I figured out a way to get it to stream on my TV.
Okay.
All this happened the day that the kids went back to mom's house. So, you got something?
No.
You just keep looking down. So all this happened the day the kids went back to mom's house. So I'm like, I tell myself to justify it. Well, I'm going to make sure that it works on my TV. I'm going to pop an episode on just to see if it works. Sure enough, it did. Cool. Awesome. Ready for when the kids get back. Cut to 3:30 a.m. on Saturday morning.
You watched the entire season?
I didn't watch the whole season.
He saved a few.
I got a good solid 15 episodes in though. When I realized, I looked at the clock. I'm like, it is 3:30 in the morning. I am a man in my late 30s with no kids at present, watching a children's serit's and loving every second of it. It's so good.
You know what the best part of this story is? It hasn't happened yet. What's going to happen is your kids are going to finally sit down and start watching said shows, and you're going to spoil alert the living daylights out of it.
We've already done that. It's already happened. There's a specific character in season 3 that has a catchphrase, and I've been springing it on the kids, and they're like, it's if you don't know the context, the quote is cruel because they'll say something and I go, and why should I care? So they don't get the context. So I had to show them the episode just so they would get the context of me asking my kids, why should I care?
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Well, cool. Well, I'm glad you had a fun weekend of enjoying.
It was nice.
Staying up to the wee hours of the morning watching children's programming by yourself as an adult.
It's one of those moments. I've had a lot of these in my adult life where it's very an out of body experience where I can see myself from literally this angle, looking down on myself in judgment of like,
and I said,
what are you doing? What are you doing with your life right now, Sean? What happened?
You know, you say that, and I ain't gonna lie, there is a tinge of me, and this is TV and movies have put this in my head. Oh, by the way, remember earlier when we were talking about comfort movies?
Yeah.
Someone, Andrew mentioned My Cousin Vinny, and I'd have to throw that in my wheelhouse of movies.
That's a good one,
that.
too.
Yeah.
Probably not one of those I've seen a bunch of times, but it's one of those that I've seen enough that I'm comfortable. It's like, it's a cozy spot.
Well, and pull back the curtain a little bit. I find Marissa Tomei quite fetching.
As do I. As do I.
And the more that's one of my favorite movies because of her.
She's still got it all put together, even in the Spider-Man movies.
Spider-Man movies, yes.
Spider-Mans.
Yes. But anyway, back to what I was saying.
Right.
So, funny you mentioned the story about seeing yourself above because I've had a couple moments in my life where I'm looking at it and then I start going back to comparing it to movies. Okay. And what I mean by that, one movie in particular, a 1980s fair starring a Rip Torn and a Meryl Streep and a Albert Brooks called Defending Your Life.
Defending Your Life, yes.
And I've had a couple moments in my life where I'm thinking, this is going to be those ones we're all sitting in a room watching after I die and laughing at me.
This will be one of the highlights. Yep.
This is one. And if you have not seen that movie, which I love that movie, it came out, I don't know, mid-'80s.
Like 85.
Yeah, I don't remember. And basically the premise of the movie, Albert Brooks gets hit by a bus. And he gets sent to what, in essence, is purgatory.
Right.
And it's like a modern version. And it's so basically he's put on trial for 3 days while that
came out in 91?
Oh, was it that late?
Yeah.
Wow, I felt like it was earlier than that.
Me too.
But anyway, so basically he's on trial for 3 days, but while he's there in purgatory, it's like a heaven light where they can eat what they want and do all they want, but then they go to court for 3 days. Rip Torn is his like attorney defending him. Then he meets Meryl Streep while in purgatory, but she's like got a short one and like her trial is like very like she's done all these great. She's like guaranteed to go on to be in heaven. And if you don't, and the premise of the movie is if you don't make your thing, you get recycled back to earth and got to try over again.
Right.
And so it's a love story where Albert Brooks meets Meryl Streep in purgatory and they fall in love. She goes on to heaven, he's not, and then that's basically the premise of the movie. But it's a comedy with a lot of I like it. It's actually, you know what? I would throw it in my comfort movies. If that came on, right, like if I was flipping channels and saw Defending Your Life on, I would stop in a heartbeat and start watching it. That's a movie I did enjoy and got kind of. I'm a fan of Rip Torn. I always loved Rip Torn ever since my Beastmaster days when I was a young child. And, and I know that needs a therapist conversation in 2021. But as a child, I loved watching a half-naked man run around with animals.
I can appreciate a man.
Half-naked men doing pagan sacrifices.
I can appreciate a man who appreciates another man in a loincloth. That's fine.
By the way, if you ever wanted to see more of the dad from Good Times you ever wanted to see, go watch Beastmaster.
Oh, I forgot about that.
To this day, seeing Amos in nothing but a loincloth, where you see cheek.
You see a bit of his McDowell's, we'll put it that way. How's that for a reference?
If you watch it, I found it funny. Let's get the bean above the front. Another movie reference. But anyway, I mean, if you watch it today's standards, it's so bad.
It is.
But I love it. I loved that movie.
It was pretty bad by then standards, too.
It was, too.
It was rough. It was a hard sell.
Well, and you know what? It came out right around the same time the movie Kroll came out. If you remember Kroll, the one with that spinny blade thing, well, the Beastmaster, his main thing was his ability to communicate with animals.
Right.
But he had a giant sword and another little spinny thing. He had one of his was a foldable version.
I don't remember that.
Of a spinny thing. And it was like the Kroll thing, but it folded instead of.
Well, mine's portable.
Well, and plus he took out animals because he had 2 ferrets that were his thieves.
Mm-hmm.
He had the eagle or hawk or whatever that was his eyes, and then he had that Black Panther walk around with him
T'Challa.
With a dude walked around with a Black Panther. I mean,
yeah,
come on.
You know what? I'm gonna listen.
That's gonna be
that guy in that loincloth with those abs and that panther. I'm listening.
And then when he stands up there with the abs and the loincloth and stands on the top of the mountain swinging a sword like a ninja,
yeah,
you either get very scared or excited.
Right.
Let's leave it at that. And as a child, I love that movie.
Do you know that Justice is Coming or Justice is Coming?
Oh, and because I listened, Taya Shire. Not Taya Shire. What was her name? Oh, she was in That 70s Show. She was quite a fetching lady back in that day.
I can't think of her name. I know who you're
Taya
talking about.
Shire, something kind of like that. What was her name? She was the love interest in Beastmaster, but she was in That 70s Show. She played the neighbor's
What's
wife.
her actual name? Not Midge. I know that's her name.
She was the neighbor's wife in That 70s Show.
Midge. What's her actual? I'm trying to find out her actual name.
I keep on see Taya Shire. That's not it. That's the thing, which I got another story on that afterwards.
We'll just go to That 70s Wiki. Find
what's her
actual name?
Oh, I'm mad at myself for not knowing this. Oh, what is her name? I'm picturing her face and everything else. Find it yet?
No, this is all show info. Which, by the way, did you hear that 90s Show is coming back?
I didn't know there was one.
They're bringing back most of the That 70s Show cast for a reboot called That 90s Show on Netflix.
Really?
And, yeah. Everybody but Hyde.
Huh. Oh, he's the one because of all the...
Yeah.
Yeah. That 70s Show cast.
Oh, my God. What's her name? Not Deborah Jo Rupp. This is real interesting.
Well, now I got to know.
Amanda Fuller?
No. Did you say her name was Midge?
Midge.
Midge on That 70s Show.
Right. Anyways.
Well, then now, where's her name?
Okay, well, she played the love interest in Beastmaster, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, then let's just do that. We'll Google Beastmaster's wiki.
Tanya Roberts.
Tanya Roberts. That's her doggone name.
Tanya Roberts. She's died?
Did she pass away?
No.
Aw.
She died a year ago.
Well,
January of 65.
Yeah, she did.
Oh, my goodness. I did not know that.
Wow.
That's a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that was her. She was a love interest in the Beastmaster.
Huh. I did not know she passed.
Well, was that in her obituary that she was in the Beastmaster? It better.
I mean, it had to have been.
I mean, they're talking about a Bond girl in That 70s Show. You better put some Beastmaster up in there. Let's see. Now I'm going to look.
One's got to imagine that he did at some
We're going
point.
to pause the show. Gallbladder. She had died from a urinary tract infection that spread from her kidney, gallbladder, liver, and bloodstream.
Oh.
Man.
That's not fun.
Let's see. Did a confirmation teach our Brian Monday. According to the Beastmaster star. Ah, there it is.
There it is.
Entry. She gained a cult following with turns in the comedy Racket, 1977, and fantasy epic The Beastmaster, 1982.
There you go.
Then played the lead in Columbia's Sheena, Queen. Oh, she was Sheena.
She
I forgot
was Sheena. That's
I forgot she was
right.
Sheena, too.
Queen of the East, or yeah.
No wonder that was like an 80s boy's dream.
Yeah.
Tanya Roberts. Oh.
There you go.
Okay. Taya Shire. So that's why I kept sticking that name in my head. Of course, she's Adrian from Rocky and the Godfather movies. And,
okay. Okay.
But anyway, I watched the first 2 episodes of the show The Offer over the weekend. There's a third one I haven't watched it yet.
Mm-hmm.
The Offer is a Paramount Plus TV show that they just put the first 3 episodes up, and it is a TV 10-episode series about the making of the Godfather movie. It's a dramatization. It's not a documentary. It's kind of like the Winning Time thing on each show, but it's
like a drama based on the events of the
and I watched the first 2 episodes, and I'm kind of like it because in essence, the movie, there was like 3 entities that were really against, like there's the studio, and then you've got Coppola and the producer. I can't remember his name off the top. He's the main character. And then you got the mob, who the mob is not down with making this. Because
that was like they actually had involvement, or
no, they were trying to
shut it
down. They were sending threats and shutting it down.
See, and that's, I feel like the mob is the last people you actually want threats from, because I feel like they actually follow through.
Well, and that's just, and so the show is talking. It really starts out with Puzo in the book, and he's kind of a struggling author, and he's not doing well. And then he writes The Godfather, and it blows up. And he's basically a guy that lived. He's an Italian dude that I guess lived around it. He owed mob the money. I guess the mob was funding some of his books.
Oh wow!
And he was owing them money and everything else. And then he wrote The Godfather and got rich. And
so I'm surprised the mob didn't get like writer's credit.
But what I'm loving is so the guy that plays Francis Ford Coppola in this is the actor. I think his name's Dan Foley or Fogarty. You would know him best as if you've seen the ping pong movie, the Dan Fogarty or Foley?
Balls of Fury.
Yeah, he's the main dude in that.
The fat guy.
Yes, he's him. He's also in the Fantastic Beasts movies.
Okay, so I've seen that movie more than most people, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Def Leppard is heavily featured in that movie, and so I was.
So that guy who's also in the Fantastic Beasts movies.
Okay.
He's in a bunch of. He was in Walking Dead. He's in The Walking Dead right now. He plays Francis Ford Coppola in this, and I ain't gonna lie. I see Francis Ford Coppola, like the way they got him dressed up and everything, and the way he's talking. They nail him, man. Like that '70s version of Francis Ford Coppola. All I could see is him.
Oh, he looks different now.
Yeah. Well, they made him. Are you looking at him as Coppola?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
he's lost a lot of weight since like the last thing I saw him was Balls of Fury.
He's still kind of heavy set.
Well, a little, I guess.
I would call him thin.
Well, I mean, hang on.
But yeah, and so really, but I've liked what I've seen so far. Yeah, that's him now.
Yeah,
he's definitely lost
He's
some
not
weight.
overweight by any stretch.
Well, he looks fatter in the Coppola.
Okay.
He looks a little heavier. He looks a little lighter in that.
Kind of looks like is like a young Anthony. What's his name? Anthony, not Anthony Michael Hall. What's the character actor that passed away? It's Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh,
he looks kind of like a young Philip Seymour Hoffman.
A little, yeah, a little. Except he's dark haired.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you ever did like the Philip Seymour Hoffman movie, I feel like he's got enough of the facial structure. Yeah.
Well, now that he's doing more serious stuff, like I said, because it's not a comedic. I mean, it kind of is, but it's more of a drama.
Sure.
Is the offer. There's comedic elements to it, but it's more of a
Giovanni
drama.
Ribisi's in it?
Yes, he plays the mafia guy, Columbo.
Yeah, Columbo.
He's a lot heavier in this.
Really?
Very heavy in this. I was like, because I almost didn't recognize him when I first saw him. I was like, man, is that him? But he's about 40 pounds heavier in this.
Colin Hanks.
I don't know if it's for... Yeah, Colin Hanks is in it. And if you like Ted Lasso, the lady that's the foul-mouthed soccer player's girlfriend, she's kind of the PR person. She's in it, too, as one of the main characters.
Stephanie Keening?
Yeah. I don't know her name. But
Koenig?
I just recognize her from Ted Lasso.
Oh, okay.
But it's...
But worth checking out.
I watched the first two. Now, if you don't know or like The Godfather, you're probably not going to like this show.
And you said it's on Paramount, right?
It's on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you like the Godfather movies, by the way, Paramount Plus is not... Or Paramount, the TV station... They know what they're doing. I turned on yesterday, and they were having like a Godfather marathon. So I was like, yeah, they're trying to, they're stoking fires for their stuff. Which, great. I don't know who's going to sit down and watch Godfather all day on Paramount, but that's...
Yeah, that's a hard sell to watch, especially to watch The Godfather like censored for broadcast.
Yeah, yeah. And to be honest, I'm done. I'm out at 3. I just, you know what I mean? First 2 are great. Third one... I'm not going to watch it over and over.
Yeah, it was weird when they started working the 3D element. I didn't think that was necessary.
When Fredo was
Godfather
Superman,
3D.
It was just weird.
That whole scene where we were actually sleeping with the fishes, it was odd. You pull back, like the virtual reality scene where you pull back the curtain, you actually see the blanket, and you actually see the horse's head. It just got weird.
The whole Nike cement shoe product line was just a little bit
The product placements were very off-putting. You got that too, right?
Yeah, I thought it was a bit off-color.
Yeah. Take the Coca-Cola, leave the cannolis. That was... It was very odd placement.
Oh, man. You know what? We probably should do news and stuff. I just saw the time. Let's 8:48. Go check out the offer on Paramount Plus. Like I said, first 3 episodes are up now. I don't know when the rest. There's 10 total, but I'm guessing weekly they put them up. What day of the week?
He didn't say please either. He's strong-arming us. Did you catch that? Go watch it.
Yeah, go watch it.
Very mob-like.
Yeah.
You're starting to kind of get influenced.
There's going to be a time where I come to you for a favor. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. It is 8:48. Let's get you up to date with the news.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Roswell Museum is announcing the return of its film series program. Starting this week, in fact, the springtime series will include 4 Thursday nights starting this week, showcasing films selected by Marie Alarcon. Alarcon is a Philadelphia-based multimedia artist and current Roswell artist in residence. Showtimes are set for 6 p.m. each Thursday evening. The first night features a series of short films, including Afronauts, a film about the little-known 1960s Zambia space program. A Carlsbad man is identified as the victim of a deadly crash in West Texas. It happened Friday on US 62, about 4 miles northeast of the town of Ropesville, Texas. Authorities said 63-year-old Scott Douglas Bendixson was the passenger in a car that was struck by a pickup truck that crossed the center line. The 2 drivers both suffered non-life-threatening injuries, but Bendixson died of his injuries at a local hospital. The crash happened just after 10 p.m. Friday night in Hockley County, Texas. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm for the next couple of days. Low pressure is moving across northern New Mexico. No rain for us, but we will have gusty wind around 25 miles per hour through the afternoon. Lots of sun, and we'll be hitting about the 90-degree mark. Clear tonight, down to the upper 40s, and then right around 90 again on Tuesday. Breezy and sunny. Wednesday looks about the same. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Target has agreed to pay $5 million to settle a California lawsuit alleging the retail chain changed prices on its mobile app after customers entered the stores and charged them more than advertised. The lawsuit alleged that Target used a technology that enables businesses to identify customers' locations and makes their apps adapt to that location. The retailer didn't clearly disclose to customers where some items could be purchased for the advertised price, online or in the store. Google has expanded options for keeping personal information private from online searches. The company said it will let people request that more types of content, such as personal contact information like phone numbers, email, and physical addresses, be removed from search results. The new policy also allows the removal of other information that may pose a risk for identity theft, such as confidential login credentials. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
There's a whole universe out there. Come explore at the International UFO Museum and Research Center, featuring engaging exhibits and in-depth first-hand accounts of the incident that put Roswell on the map. The research library features the most comprehensive collection of UFO research materials in the world, and you can get exclusive one-of-a-kind gifts and merch from the gift shop or online at roswellufomuseum.com. Don't forget about the UFO Festival, July 1st through 3rd, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Roswell incident. The International UFO Museum and Research Center. It's otherworldly.
Have you ever thought, Mom and Dad are beginning to need more help, but with a busy job and raising a family, you just don't have the extra time? Personal Care by Design is just what you're looking for. We can be there when you can't, from 1 hour a day to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All of our caregivers are carefully screened, and we are the only personal care service that is overseen by a registered nurse. Competitive rates, great people, and experience is what sets us apart. So when you need extra help at home with your loved one, you can count on Personal Care by Design. Personal, private, and protected. Call us at 575-625-9471 for your personal care needs and receive a free nursing evaluation. That number again is 575-625-9471.
Wilbanks Trucking Services in Artesia is seeking dedicated and motivated individuals to join their team. Immediate openings include CDL drivers with pay starting at $25 to $33 per hour depending on experience. Riggers with pay starting at $20 per hour and open positions for lease operators. Wilbanks Trucking Services offers full benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and housing for out-of-town employees. For more information on career opportunities, please call 575-746-6318 or online at wilbanks.us. Wilbanks Trucking Services is an equal opportunity employer.
What's better than Rib Crib's slow smoked ribs? More of them, that's what. Rib Crib presents Rib Fest. We're talking endless slow smoked righteous ribs, plus unlimited sides and bottomless refills, all for only $17.99 after 4 p.m. Choose from Rib Crib's original signature rub or go sweet and sticky. Plus all your favorite sides like coleslaw, mac and cheese, sweet and smoky beans, and so much more. It's a rib-tastic celebration you can really sink your teeth into. Rib Fest starting at 4 p.m. all month long at Rib Crib on North Main in Roswell. Smoking the good stuff since 1992.
Coming up on the Monday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, we'll have the latest for you on the Biden administration's efforts to distract the American people from the massive failures at the border, on the economy, on crime. You name it, the spin machines are going to be going fast and furious. We'll separate fact from fiction, bring you up with all the latest stories, everything you need to know coming up on the Clay and Buck Show.
Travis and Sexton are on Roswell's Talk FM weekdays at 10. Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:55. Next hour, we're going to replay. We don't have a guest schedule, so we're going to replay our interview we had on Friday with Congresswoman Yvette Harrell, representing CD2. She joined us and had about a 25-minute conversation with her, talking mostly about border stuff, but a little bit of other stuff too. But that was the majority of our conversation on Friday, so we'll play that for you here in just a little bit. A couple other things I want to remind you about before we get you into news here. Don't forget, coming to the Liberty Thursday, May 19th. Don't miss an evening with Grammy-winning Latin funk band Grupo Fantasma with special opening guest slide guitar legend Robin Scott. Yeah, we've had him on the show. Great dude. Doors open 6 p.m. Show starts at 7:30. Tickets are on sale now. Get yours before they're gone. For more information on how you can become a bona fide member, visit thelibertyinc.com, and don't miss an evening with Latin funk band Grupo Fantasma and Robin Scott, Thursday, May 19th at the Liberty in Roswell. Yeah, it's going to be a good show. And matter of fact, Jet was going to talk to us about that, but he got busy earlier, so couldn't make it in today to talk about that with us. Also, don't forget, Cinco de Mayo is happening Friday, May 6th and Saturday, May 7th this weekend at the courthouse, the Chaves County Courthouse lawn. Come out for a fun weekend of festivities. It's going to be Friday from noon to 10, and then Saturday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. They're going to have DJ music, folklorico dancers, of course. One of the highlights of the Cinco de Mayo festival, the taco and jalapeno eating contests, live music that includes country, along with Tejano, Norteño, and Cumbia. Multiple food vendors. They're going to have community and informational booths. Fun activities and more for the kids, all of that. Marcos Nava, I believe, is going to join us Wednesday with the Hispano Chamber and chit-chat about what's on tap for this year's Cinco de Mayo Festival. But if you have any questions, want more information, you can reach the Hispano Chamber at 575-624-0889. Again, that's 575-624-0889. Also, coming up in June, we've had Peggy on multiple times talking about Camp Invention. It's a great opportunity for kids entering kindergarten through 6th grade. The camp is going to take place June 6th through the 10th at First United Methodist Church. It's a day camp each day from 9 a.m. to 3:30. There's going to be 4 different projects they work on this year: robotic aquatics, a spacecation, the Marble Arcade, and the National Inventors Hall of Fame's The Attic. 4 different projects. Cost for the camp total is $250. They do have a code if you go online and save $15. You got to use it before the 18th. Go to invent.org/camp to do that. If Peggy Boland's also offering partial discounts or partial scholarships if you need that, but you got to call her direct if you're interested. 575-420-9955. Again, that's 575-420-9955. Call her also if you'd like to donate money. If you're thinking that, because all of her scholarships are through people donating money, and she's had quite a few, but the more, the merrier. So please give her a call. But it's a great camp for these kids to learn STEM and all that fun stuff in a fun way, and especially with COVID and everything that went on last couple of years here. Things like camp invention, to me, are that much more important this year. So go to invent.org/camp and learn more about it June 6th through the 10th here at First United Methodist Church, 200 North Pennsylvania, here in Roswell. All right, it is closing in on 9 o'clock. Time for some Town Hall News. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. We'll be back.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A clear-cut victory at the U.S. Supreme Court for a group that was seeking to raise the flag, the Christian flag.
In a unanimous decision, the justices have found that the city of Boston cannot refuse to fly the Christian flag in front of City Hall while allowing all kinds of other groups to fly their flags at that location. The city's program of rotating various flags was supposed to promote, quote, diversity and tolerance amongst the city's different communities, but somehow Christians were not to be included.
Correspondent Michael Harrington says Boston officials approved all 284 flag applications they had received, except for the Christian one. Britain's military estimates that more than a quarter of all troops that Russia deployed for its war in Ukraine are now combat ineffective. Soldiers lost to wounds or death, as well as those whose equipment has been damaged or destroyed. Jill Biden will travel to Eastern Europe this weekend.
The First Lady will visit Romania and Slovakia, 2 NATO countries that share borders with Ukraine and where civilians have fled after the Russian invasion. She will go to Romania first, then will spend Mother's Day in Slovakia with refugees, humanitarian aid workers, and local Slovakians. The White House says the First Lady will also meet with U.S. service members, U.S. embassy personnel, and educators during her trip. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Another Trump rally this past weekend, this one in Nebraska. Former President Trump lamenting the spike in pump prices under President Biden.
I got gas down to $1.87 a gallon and even lower in some places.
Gas prices up 7 cents a gallon over the past week, now averaging $4.19 a gallon for regular, according to AAA, and diesel prices hitting an all-time high. Stocks are higher on Wall Street at the moment. The Dow's up 7 points, NASDAQ 40 points higher, and the S&P is better by 1 point. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Seems like just yesterday when I captured my son's first steps, or when we recorded his soccer games on VHS tapes. Those moments are gone. But the old home movies and pictures don't need to be. That's why my son created Legacy Box.
That's right, Mom. Over 1 million families have used Legacy Box to digitally preserve their old home movies and photos.
Simply fill Legacy Box with your old camcorder tapes, film, and photos. They will professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud.
With Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to get your Legacy Box and save your family's history. After all, few things are as important as protecting your precious memories. Give your mom a Mother's Day present she'll never forget. Legacy Box is offering a 60% discount. Order yours today and take advantage of our best Mother's Day sale ever. Visit legacybox.com/lbox and for a limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/lbox for 60% off. legacybox.com/lbox.
Israel has summoned the Russian ambassador over remarks by Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Lavrov insisting that Ukraine could still have Nazi elements, even if some figures, including the country's president, are Jewish, saying, quote, Hitler also had Jewish origins.
Israel's Foreign Minister Yair Lapid said Mr. Lavrov's remarks were unforgivable, outrageous, and a terrible historical error. He said the lowest level of racism against Jews was to accuse Jews themselves of anti-Semitism. Danny Dayan, the chairman of Yad Vashem, the World Holocaust Remembrance Center in Jerusalem, said Mr. Lavrov's comments were absurd, delusional and dangerous. He said the claim Hitler was of Jewish descent was completely unfounded. The Israeli government has summoned Russia's ambassador to the country for what it called a clarification meeting.
And that's BBC correspondent John Donison reporting. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. A past PGA champ back on top with a win at the Mexico Open.
Spain's Jon Rahm has secured his first win since his US Open triumph in June last year, holding off last-round challengers by Tony Finau and Brandon Wu to win the Mexican Open by one shot. The 27-year-old world number 2 was equal to the task, birding the 14th hole to pull out of a tie for the lead and secure his 7th career victory on the PGA Tour.
I'm always hopeful, and I'm always positive, and that was key today. I never lost faith.
Rahm closed with a 2-under-69 to close out a wire-to-wire victory set up by a first-round 64. I'm Graham Agars.
Ray Charles and the Judds joined the Country Music Hall of Fame the other day, just one day after Naomi Judd died unexpectedly. Her daughters accepting the honor through tears, holding each other as they recited the 23rd Psalm. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelers said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody. It's not as fun as Friday. I know it.
No.
I know we'd be like, oh, Friday got done, but
it just doesn't have the same mouthfeel.
It does not. But it's getting warmer. We're in May now.
Yep.
Officially.
That's right.
Kids will be graduating and getting out for the summer here in a few weeks.
The outdoor pool at the Aquatic Center going to be opening up in just a couple of weeks. I believe May 19th.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things to look forward to. By the way, I got a note on the comment section in our video feed on online on our Facebook page. Got a note from Tracy from the Adult Center. They want to invite everyone out to their big trivia night. That's this Friday night, 6 p.m.
Okay.
Teams of 4 or less, $7 per team to register. And you got to be at least 18 years of age or older to play. So come on out to the Adult Center, sign up.
Yeah.
All you trivia nuts out there, and who knows? Maybe you can win some prizes and things. I don't know exactly what they've got going on out there, but sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, keep the brain sharp.
Yeah. Or, that's why you can get your 4.
Yeah, this is the thing. You have to like set your team up the correct way. You have to have the one history buff. So like if I was setting my team up,
yes,
I would have you.
Okay,
because you're clearly the history buff. You know the most about Civil War history, military history. You've done a lot of deep dives into things like that.
Okay,
and you seem to have a lot of passion in that area.
All right.
I'm your pop culture nut. I know a lot about, your Hollywood stuff, TV shows, movies.
And I'm in
actresses.
from like 90s on back. I can help there.
What you need is you need somebody who's really good, like who's versed in sports knowledge to cover your sports stuff. And then I'm thinking probably one more that's just more up on current world events.
Yeah.
Possibly like actual things happening in news and stuff today.
Well, and you and I are kind of a jack of all trades, where we have a little bit in a lot of different areas.
Sure. I just feel like the places that we lack are like sports knowledge.
Yeah.
And maybe like.
And I have some sports.
Feminine culture.
I have some sports.
Sure, you do.
I'm football, hockey. I'm not well versed on baseball or basketball. I'm just not, because those aren't sports I really follow closely. So, but football, especially NFL, I keep tabs on pretty good.
Sure.
Not so much college and hockey, although I don't keep tabs like I did when I was younger. But for this area, I probably know more hockey than the average person.
You know who'd be really good? We still need a fourth, but I'm thinking a sports person. But who'd make a really good fourth is somebody like my friend Misty, who's real versed in like your movies, current comedies, and current like actors, actresses, and things like that. She has I would call it an almost unhealthy obsession with the Kardashians.
No, really?
Yes, she keeps up with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
In a big way.
Okay.
So I, as you know, by association, I've kept up with the Kardashians a bit myself. But I feel like she could cover kind of that realms.
I can't even name all the Kardashians.
She knows like your Olivia Rodrigos, who the Kardashians are dating and kind of what's going on in their realms. So she can kind of cover that realm. You got your history, my pop culture, general knowledge. We just need a sports person, and we have ourselves the Avengers of trivia teams.
Yeah.
That's all we need. So
yeah. And I could, like I said, you and I could fill the void in some of those.
Sure. But who's a good, like, general sport? I would say Thomas, but I don't know that he has a lot of general sports knowledge. He has a lot of knowledge of the Cowboys, the Mavericks.
I think we'd have to go recruit like one of our sports announcers,
like a Joby,
or maybe
Art
even
would be an
Art.
Art would probably
or
be a great
Kelly
addition. Yeah,
I think an Art or a Kelly would be somebody to put in to round out our four.
Right.
That would be
nice.
Yeah, but that would be my guess. Of course, they might be a little busy this weekend because we do have baseball.
Sure.
And baseball. Well, we have playoff baseball Saturday and Friday and Saturday.
Matter of fact,
Goddard and Artesia.
Here it is.
They're going to square off in a best of three in Artesia.
Let's see. Artesia versus Kirtland Central. That's happening this
That's softball.
That's Saturday. Softball. Baseball best 2 of 3. Artesia versus Goddard. Happening this Friday in Artesia, 5 p.m. Saturday, May 7th at Artesia, 11 a.m. Game following if needed.
Yes. So that's the plan for that. I think we're going to have video. Now that I said earlier I didn't think so, but I think for that one we'll have video. I'm not sure. I'll let you know tomorrow whether it's going to be radio and video, just video, or what.
We'll know a little bit more as of tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get all the finer details worked out here. But my guess is they're going to get the video rights for that since it's in Artesia.
See, I would think since it's there, yeah.
I can tell you nothing after that will happen because I think after this they go to Albuquerque or wherever the tournament's at this year. Rio Rancho. I'm not even sure, to be honest. Usually that's where they have it. And usually, it seems like softball goes to Cruces a lot, but not always. So I'm not sure. I'm not that up on it.
Right.
I'm letting the trivia team down.
I was just going to say, I'm like, come on, Mike. You're over here bragging about your sports knowledge, and you don't know where the championship softball game's going down. You're letting us down in the clutch, man.
I am. Speaking of sports, though, I did keep a tab on the NFL draft over the weekend.
I read an interesting story about that. It was basically ranking all of the how the different teams did.
Yeah,
as
they
far
grade
as
them.
Yeah, as far as like their.
Who'd they have? I kind of curious.
So as
I haven't paid much
the
attention
A
to
plus across the board really went to the Jets.
Okay.
Which is
I can
weird
see
because
that.
last year's draft, they had the worst draft in what people are calling NFL history.
Yeah.
They got 4 of the worst draft picks ever last season. This season, they went A plus. On the lower end of the spectrum, I'm pretty sure. Well, the Commanders got a C plus.
Many pundits weren't too thrilled with the Washington draft class.
Cowboys did well. Packers did well. Let me just pull up the thing. I'd have to find the exact list. But go ahead and just riff for vamp for a sec.
Now, and sure, I like reading those, and they're fun to see as much as the next person. But the whole draft analysis game is worse than weather forecasters, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because they get it wrong probably more so.
It's a lot easier
than even weather people.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to get that part wrong.
I mean, like the leaders in the industry, your Mel Kipers and whoever, NFL Network or ESPN, whatever their guys are now. I don't know. I think they get it wrong more than they get it right, to be honest. If you look back in history, and they like a lot of times you go back in these classes, they draft a C or a D. Then you go back 10 years later and look, it's like, yeah, you want to reassess that grade, buddy? You know, because guys like Tom Brady show up in the 4th round, and you're like, oh, yeah, you know, and
it's all based on analytics, speculation, and numbers that were put up
and plus
seasons ago from athletes that, you know, were in different shapes.
And plus different teams have different strategies to draft. And some were going to take best player overall at the pick. Others are going to draft more for need. So for a person on the outside that just looks at combine numbers and this stuff all day.
Right.
Yeah, from their perspective, that these are the grades they're giving, but they're not getting the grades on the X factors and the, you know, okay, like Washington, they didn't like them, but for what Washington needs right now, some of those guys are that's why they, like Washington gave them a C. It's not that they didn't get good players. They're trying to say they reached for them.
Right.
They're trying to say, like, the guy they got in the 2nd round, they could have gotten the 3rd round. Except we didn't have a 3rd round pick. So is it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And was it going to be around in the 4th? And we ended up actually, at the end of the day, we traded in the first day. We had the number 11 pick overall. We traded back, and we ended up getting 4 extra picks for that 1 pick.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just saying they got 4 players that could be. Now, they didn't get necessarily a star day one potential. I mean,
but what they got was a decent pool of candidates that they can then take to the combines, to training, and then, you know, weed out the good from the chaff.
Yeah, like the potential there. Like their 1st round, the wide receiver Dotson they got, he could be the next big thing. I think, and from what I'm reading, as far as pure hands and everything, and all those wide receivers that were the big guns in the 1st round, he had the best hands of the bunch, and all. He doesn't have the size, and so they look at him like, oh, well, he's not 6'2", he's only 6 foot, so he's not an impact guy. And well, ask guys like Deshaun Jackson how impactful they are. That guy's 5'10", and he's eating a bunch of people's lunches. I'm just saying, you know, I mean,
it's all speculation based on, like I said, numbers and stats.
It's all about their molds and their does it fit their, what, quote unquote, the vibe of what's a good draft pick. And I'm like, they don't know any more than we do. They just got to take the information and roll the dice like everybody else.
But based on their forecast, this is what they're saying. The Jets scored the number 1 as far as drafts goes. The rest of the top 5, the Ravens, the Eagles, the Giants, and the Texans.
Yeah.
The Raiders were dead last, just ahead of the Dolphins, which strikes me as odd because I feel like they would have decent picks.
Well, Dolphins were heavy in free agency. So I'm guessing some of the teams with lower grades were heavier in free agency. Some like to address through free agency, others address through the draft. That's why you see teams like the Packers rarely take ventures into free agency. I mean, they'll sign 1 or 2, but they're never getting in the games for the big guns. You never see them in those contests. They build through the draft. So I bet you look at the Packers draft, and it was probably nothing exciting but good, and they'll turn out and make 10-year veterans out of half those players.
And that's what it said basically was it gave them a solid A. It says the Chiefs, the Packers, and the Cowboys also got a solid A. No one failed on the report card, but they gave their lowest mark a C- to the Patriots.
Yeah.
The Commanders, the Super Bowl winning Rams, and the 49ers. So
yeah. And see, the Commanders, what they're doing with Mayhew and Riverboat Ron, they're trying to be more Packer-like. So if you look at what they're drafting for need, but they're drafting like guys that work there. Like, matter of fact, you know, we got Carson Wentz as our quarterback. He's our one guy, but I think Washington accidentally created a quarterback controversy. They drafted out of North Carolina State's Sam Howell, who many pundits were predicting was going to be the number 1 pick. He had some injury setbacks and things, but this guy they were thinking was going to be the number 1 overall a year ago. We drafted him in the 5th round.
Oh, wow.
And the guy's a solid player, and I got a feeling, and he's one of Ron's kind of types. He's a very, I just got a feeling this guy's going to make more noise. And like right now, he's our third string quarterback. But I got a feeling if this guy makes any kind of noise in camp, which he's very capable of, I wouldn't be surprised if he's starting by the end of the season. If I'm hoping not. I'm hoping Carson Wentz kicks butt and does what he's supposed to do. But the moment that man starts slipping, there's going to be the fan base is already going to be screaming for Sam Howell. They're already doing it now,
right?
And it's Monday after the draft.
It'd be interesting to see who does what with the pieces that are now put in place.
Yeah, that's why I love reading the grades because it's fun. But do I put any kind of stock into them? Not
Probably
really.
not.
Not really. Those people just filling article space and getting clickbait points just like everybody else. That's all they're doing. And their pundits there's more of them and they're more ridiculous as they go. It is 9:19. Probably should get some of the hour going here. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm for the next couple of days. Low pressure is moving across northern New Mexico. No rain for us, but we will have gusty wind around 25 miles per hour through the afternoon. Lots of sun, and we'll be hitting about the 90-degree mark. Clear tonight, down to the upper 40s, and then right around 90 again on Tuesday. Breezy and sunny. Wednesday looks about the same. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 68 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 55%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 3 miles per hour. We do have a red flag warning in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. Mainly, but we're starting to see that humidity drop like flies. It was up in the 80s a couple hours ago. We're down in the 50s for humidity. For today, sunny, 91 with winds out of the west. 10 to 20. So red flag warning, those conditions are kind of like that. So it's, even though it's not as windy, it's still pretty dry out there. So that's probably why they're issuing that warning for us. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 50. Winds will be out of the west, 10 to 15 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, sunny, highs right around 90, 89 officially with northeast winds 10 to 15. Early, later shifting to the south. Increasing 15 to 20. Could see wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour later in the day tomorrow. Tomorrow night, they're talking partly cloudy with an overnight low of 57. Winds will remain breezy out of the south, 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. They'll drop down 10 to 15 miles per hour after midnight. Wednesday, mostly sunny, highs near 90. West winds 10 to 20. Sunny on Thursday with a high of 87. Sunny and 96 on Friday. And then the weekend, looks like we're going to be living in a big warm dust bowl. Areas of blowing dust on Saturday, sunny and hot with a high of 98. Sunday, areas of blowing dust, sunny, windy, high of 95. So hot and windy seems like a theme for this week. All right, it is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview we had Friday with Congresswoman Yvette Harrell. She joined us, had about a 20, 25-minute conversation talking about border security and latest in Congress. So that's up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hear the call of the wild this summer with summer camp at the Spring River Zoo, with camps for kids age 4 through 17 and 7 weekly camps offered in June and July. Camp topics include predators and prey, camouflage, zookeeper roles, and zoo research. Lunch and snacks are provided daily, and all kids get a camp t-shirt. Space is limited. Sign-ups are on now. Find more details on each camp at springriverzoo.com and register your kid's spot now through roswellconnect.com. Go wild this summer with summer camps at the Spring River Zoo, 1306 East College.
When you're not feeling well, the last thing you want to worry about is how soon you can get in to see your healthcare provider, or even finding a provider if you don't have one. Well, now you can feel better, knowing that the Loveless Healthcare Center in Roswell offers appointments for when you're not feeling well, or for checkups, annual exams, or any chronic issues that need attention. To schedule an appointment or to find a new healthcare provider, call 575-625-3222 today.
Roswell is our home. That's why we've all got to do our part to stop illegal dumping. Throwing your trash, clutter, or yard debris in the alleys, sidewalks, or streets is a crime, and it takes time and money to clean it up.
Those caught dumping illegally can face fines of up to $500. You can help by taking your waste to the landfill once a month for free with a paid water bill. Call the City of Roswell Solid Waste Department for more information at 575-624-6746. Help keep Roswell clean. After all, do you want your kids to grow up in a dump?
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor and a PTO Quick Connect that hooks up rear implements with a single click. John runs with us because to him, there's nothing more important than connecting with the land. Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear John's story at Deere.com.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
I have a snake for your drain. You might want to step back.
Oh no, baby.
All AC units moke a little. Is normal.
Oh no, baby.
Haha, now your sprinkler system's strong like bull.
Come on now. Don't let any fool work on your plumbing and air conditioning. Fergalicious. From clogged drains to sprinkler systems, Fergie's Plumbing and Heating is on the job. And who you gonna call for air filters and spring servicing on your AC unit? Fergalicious. Call Fergie's today, 622-2660. Nothing but love. Fergalicious.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
7 o'clock. Joining us on the phone this morning is House of Representatives representing here in CD2 for us in New Mexico. Congresswoman Yvette Harrell back on the phone with us. Good morning, ma'am. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Good to be with you again, Mike.
Glad to have you. It's always a good time talking with you, even if the stuff we're talking about is always not the most fun. But I love having to talk with you on the radio here. So
I like the way you say that. It's the stuff we talk about is not always the most fun. I kind of like the way you kind of preface this. That's funny.
Well, I mean, it would. Unfortunately, you don't get to do all good news stuff all the time. They make you you spend more time fighting than working on the. But
yeah.
I'm guessing is probably a lot of border talk in Congress right now. Is that pretty much the main thing, or is there something bigger fish that you're working on right now?
No, the border has absolutely been the focus this week, especially in light of the administration wanting to get rid of Title 42 fully.
Yeah.
And of course, the Louisiana judge came back and said no. That needs to stay in place. And we know that that'll be temporary. We know this administration will probably appeal that. So regardless, it will eventually go away. But what has been very interesting this week is Secretary Mayorkas, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, for the first time since I've been in Congress, we actually now have had him in front of two different committees. So he was on Homeland Security Committee earlier in the week, and then yesterday sat in front of the Judiciary Committee. And I can tell you this, it was even more frustrating than before. I mean, he actually said that he had operational control over the southern border. Well, Mike, I don't know about you, but when we have a record number of illegals crossing our border, there were over 220,000 in March alone, I don't think that signals operational control. And I actually kind of feel like, don't you have to have control of something before you can, actually say you've got control? And there's absolutely no evidence of that.
That's and
it's just getting worse and worse. Yeah, and the morale of the Border Patrol officers just really not being able to do their jobs because so many of them now have been pulled back into the soft side, meaning they're in the processing centers.
Sure.
Instead of out boots on the ground. And I was down on our southern border Good Friday and went down, and I was down on the Johnson Ranch for about 2.5 hours. I did not see one Border Patrol agent that entire time.
Wow.
However, right before I got down to the ranch, I stopped in Columbus at a little restaurant there called Borderland. There were some National Guard troops in there. So, of course, I thanked them, and I said, hey, where are you guys from? And they were all from Florida.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
because our governor doesn't see a crisis happening on our southern border, doesn't understand just what is happening down there. So it's a testament to governors around the country that understand the protection we need to have in place and the help we need to provide our Border Patrol officers.
Wow.
So, yes, they were all from Florida, and they told me that the uptick in encounters out there on the Johnson Ranch, then going west to Hachita, down on Judy Keeler's place, it's just, he said it's astronomical. And so it's just really a big deal, and it has been for a very long time. And I'm hoping maybe to get some more press down to New Mexico's border so we can really, show everybody what is going on. In fact, one of the ranchers, Judy Keeler, sent me a text Monday, and just so frustrated. They had done another raid, big encounter there.
Okay.
They brought a bunch of the illegals to her front yard because it's the proximity to where Border Patrol could pick them up. But she said there was a pregnant woman, obviously pregnant, holding a 1-year-old with a 3-year-old next to her.
Wow.
In a group of men that she said the whole thing looked wrong. But this is what we're seeing day in and day out across the southern border.
And then once this Title 42 gets lifted, there's I've heard thousands, if not millions, waiting for that to happen and start making their treks across the border as well, too. So we're talking about not enough staffing and people there now. Wait till that Title 42 hits. It's going to be a huge problem if they don't address this some way, shape, or form.
Right, because the problem is we're seeing about 8,000 people a month coming across the southern border. When Title 42 goes away, we can expect to see numbers around 18,000, and that number comes from Brandon Judd, the president of the Border Patrol Council. And I just had a meeting earlier this morning before we got on the call here with the with the Border Caucus here in Washington. There's several members that belong, and Congressman Biggs from Arizona, he was talking about, I went down to the California border, down to Tijuana and that area just to see how things were going.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about that in a minute. But then I went to New Mexico, back to our border, instead of going to Yuma. But he was saying at the Yuma Processing Center, it's built for about 800 people.
Yeah.
During COVID, they tried to keep it around 350.
Okay.
2 weeks ago, right there at Easter, when he went down, they had over 3,000 people at that processing center.
Wow.
And that's before Title 42 goes away.
Wow.
So the pressure, that we're putting on these facilities, and this morning at our meeting was the new commissioner of the Border Patrol Council. He's from Arizona, and clearly completely out of touch with reality. Sounded just like Secretary Mayorkas, saying, we've made great improvements. He said he'd been down on the border, talked to hundreds of agents that are doing good. The morale is fine. They're very excited about the tools they're implementing. Well, that's very interesting because we're hearing they need more resources. They need more tools. They need to finish the wall.
Yeah.
So
all
it's just part of it's just part of this administration's narrative, and that's exactly what Secretary Mayorkas did in the committee hearings. This is exactly what the commissioner did this morning. And I tell you, who's not buying into this anymore are the people of New Mexico, the people of America. They are over it. They see the detrimental outcomes of this, the fentanyl, the uptick in crime, the uptick in people, these kids getting into our schools where there's just not enough room in some places, maybe not New Mexico, but definitely Texas.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, I learned something new, talked to some people in New Mexico yesterday, and this is something I've never talked about because I honestly didn't think about it because we're always focused on human trafficking, the illegals coming over and the drugs. But this gentleman told me the one thing no one's even mentioned is there is a lot of livestock smuggling going on. I had no idea.
Really?
In the thousands of heads. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. If people say, hey, we got to eat, we're out here, and, I mean, you don't think about it, but if you think about it, it makes sense a little bit. You know what I mean? Because when you got that many people, they're going to eat what they need to eat, and if it's stealing, taken, that's what they got to do to survive. You know, and yeah, that's a problem.
That's exactly right. And I hadn't really thought about it, but it was kind of twofold. He said that even some of the brand inspectors and the inspectors down on the border are having a tough time, because even when they are able to finally, wrangle these guys in, get a hold of these animals, whether it's horses or cattle, get them down. Then mostly they move them over to Texas to hold on to them. But then the courts are so busy and so full that the judges aren't even hearing these cases. But here's the one thing I want to say is, what I'm hearing is some of the cattle coming across aren't the best, and the horses as well.
Okay.
And what the concern is they're thinking, and I think this might be right, and it's horrible to think about, but they're thinking, because they don't go through any of the X-ray machines or anything when they bring them, especially across Columbus.
Yeah.
It's diseases and full of fentanyl, full of drugs. They get them across that border very quickly so they can do away with them and get the drugs back out of them. It's a very almost foolproof way to do it.
Yeah, I didn't think, because I mean, think about it. They were using babies, get them across, stuffing them, and I mean, that's horrifying. So this doesn't seem like a hardly a stretch at all to do that if they're capable of doing that. You know what I mean?
That's right. And I've had people say some of the livestock coming across, some of it no doubt healthy, but you're right as it relates to these transmittable diseases in herds. And I remember some years back there was a huge outbreak of, I don't remember I'm not sure if it was bird flu or what, but remember it was something to do with livestock, poultry coming across the border. It was just getting into
like
all of these
or something.
Or something.
Yeah,
but it was coming from out of country, and and I've had meetings with dairy people and some of those folks, and there are some concerns that even TB in these dairy herds is coming from south of the border, because we as Americans, and just with our health, safety, with our agricultural operators that are so careful, now to see diseases not only in humans, but we haven't seen these transmittable diseases in decades, but now to see uptick in livestock diseases. And, I was just sitting there yesterday thinking, goodness sakes, I hadn't really thought about this and hadn't even talked about this. So, I mean, but it just goes to show the complexity of this issue and how we're continuing to put New Mexicans and Americans in harm's way without even batting an eye, and it's sad. It really is sad.
Especially in the world we live in, where we need to be doing the opposite. I mean, we need to ramp up our efforts, not loosen them a little bit here. I have a quick question related to this before I want to talk about something else. I remember Texas was about a month ago. Whenever they were gathering up these the folks that are crossing the borders, they were putting them on buses and sending them to D.C. And I remember seeing in the news how whatever happened to that. I mean, are they still sending them to D.C. And what? Yeah. Do you know what happened to them after they went to D.C.?
They get to D.C. and a few of the buses I saw were met by NGO, these non-governmental organizations who, now that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother show segment. But, and then from there, some of them I know were being picked up and taken to some different, like these organization places, these halfway houses, others. But that's just what's happening all over.
Okay.
I mean, I actually took a guy from New York down to the southern border right there at Easter. That's why I wanted to go down there.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason he wanted to go, and I thought this was really cool that he wanted to connect the dots. He said in New York, and he lives in the heart of New York, and he said, they call them midnight migrants because they have over 160,000 people who've been flown into New York City, and that's it. They get off the plane and they're on, maybe there's a non-governmental organization waiting for them, maybe not. Maybe they have a sponsor there. So they're just infiltrating the community, the city. And so the reason he wanted to come, and I was really excited that he wanted to come to New Mexico, is he did a lot of video down there, but to show people, this is where it starts.
Gotcha.
And then, and then back to New York, and this is where it's ending.
Yeah.
Or this is where the new chapter starts. And so he was showing those big breaks in the border barrier, where we've got all that material sitting out there on the ground, and yet no political will by this administration to finish the border wall. So it was very interesting that I thought would be a great messaging tool and to help, I think, let people see and understand, because if you haven't been down there, you just kind of can't get a sense for what's happening.
Well, and the American people are getting mixed signals from what's going on down there. And I mean, we New Mexicans and Americans that live on the border understand it, but folks that don't, they'll see the images on the news at night, and you look, and I think a lot of people think it's all a bunch of people that are looking for a future here, which we understand. Yeah, we get people like that too. And, we understand we want kids, and we're not trying to be like menaces, but unfortunately there's so much nefarious that comes through with that. And so they're playing an angle like, oh, it's just a bunch of people looking for freedom. And I'm not saying there's not people in that, but amongst all of that is stuff that wants to hurt and kill and damage this country, either intentionally or unintentionally. And we have to protect our citizens. And so that's the balance. It's like, no, if we want to help these same people that are looking for, but there's a different way to do it. You can't just start walking across the border because of the sex trafficking, the drugs, the terrorism, and just the biological, the stuff about bringing disease and things that we don't want in this country to spread and create a pandemic. All of that is the variables we're talking about here. And so we want to find a way to help people that need help, at the same time protect the citizens of the United States. And Democrats and Republicans have very differing views on how to do that. And that's what we're debating right now. And I think like what you're talking about, getting people down there, taping, showing what's really going on down here, people can maybe at least understand what we're talking about, instead of making it, oh, you're heartless, you're this, and it's like, no, we have hearts, but at the same time we don't want to destroy the America helping people at this, you know what I mean? We've got to find that balance, and if we overtax ourselves, we're going to end up creating a weaker country and being vulnerable to everything else, superpowers, to disease, to people defending trying to take away our freedoms. That happens every single day because they don't have them, and that's what we're talking about.
Yep, and you nailed it. And believe me, I mean, it's horrible. I mean, my heart breaks for these people, and I know there's a percentage that do want to come for a better life and all of this, but the real clear message needs to be, we have to take care of our own first, like you just said it perfectly. You know, the health, safety, welfare, the sovereignty. But here's what's interesting. There are a lot of people that think that all these people that are coming over illegally, not, a large number of them, are coming here to seek asylum. But what I want people to understand is, number one, of the 2 million people that came into the nation last year illegally, the actual percentage of asylum seekers, I mean legitimate asylum seekers, is less than 10%. It's single digit. And so people need to understand that. Number two, law states that you cannot seek asylum for the purpose of economic gain. So you can't just say, I'm seeking asylum because I want to move to America or what other country, some other country, to get a better job. You can't. That's against the law. And in our laws and in immigration laws, if you are truly seeking a political asylum, then you have to go to the first port of entry that you make contact with in whatever country that is.
Okay.
The first country away from your country of origin. Many of these people are coming through 2 or 3 countries to get to America and then seeking asylum. So that's why even of the small percentage of people that are actually making it to court, the court cases get thrown out because it's actually not a legitimate asylum case.
Okay.
And, so the other problem with this is, they're coming, then asking for asylum, then their court cases are, maybe 18 or 24 months away. Well, most of them are not showing up for court, and then we've got that entire catch and release, and we've got that, the ankle monitor, which people are cutting off immediately. And even the Border Patrol will tell you that a lot of these migrants that come into the country, go to court, the cartel are waiting on the backside of that courthouse, waiting to get those people again, because in some cases these folks are trying to do better, still owe the cartel money. And what we've done is create, way beyond a cottage industry, we have created an all-out funding source, a revenue stream for the cartel, and they're the biggest winners in this whole entire process.
Yeah, the more this goes on, the more money they make, the more power they gain, and the worse it is for the average person, you and I here.
Exactly. And then, oh my God, I got to say one more thing, because this made me so mad. In the hearing the other day with Secretary Mayorkas, they're actually considering utilizing VA, Department of Veteran Services, resources to take down to the border to ensure these people, who are, by the way, breaking the law to enter our country, but to make sure that they have access to the medical services they need. I am
They
so
can't take
angry
care of the
about
VA,
that.
our veterans right now, let alone other people. What they have no business doing anything other than working with veterans, because they haven't finished doing that yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the double standard.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was on the Newsmax the other night, and I said that is absolutely absurd, the fact that we have homeless veterans, that we make veterans jump through hoops when they should have access to health care and benefits easier than anybody else. And yet we're considering now taking away the doctors, nurses, some of the medical staff, and some of the medical equipment away from veteran services, pushing it to the southern border so that we're able to provide medical services for illegals. I'm telling you, the double standard and the hypocrisy of what this country is doing right now to the American people it's embarrassing, it's horrific, and it just makes no sense whatsoever. And I could not have imagined ever that we would hear and see the things that we're seeing in our country right now. And I'm not the only one. It's everybody is starting to see it. It's not blue and red anymore. It's red, white, and blue, because people care.
If you need more evidence, look in the headlines yesterday. One of the big things that were in the headlines yesterday was this, Ministry of Truth, or whatever they're wanting to call this thing that they're looking into about. You've heard about this, right? Where the president was talking about this panel on seeking the truth, and the ministry of, that doesn't raise 17 red flags. I don't know what does. Well,
yeah, and the other thing that came out, I hadn't really heard about. I know a little bit what you're talking about, but I haven't been following that close. But the other thing, and Mayorkas said this in the committee hearing, was, they're setting up a disinformation a task, kind of under the arm of the Homeland Security.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? And then Mayorkas has said it twice. Once he said that the biggest, greatest threat to the American public is this white supremacy, this entire racial divide. But then a few weeks ago, he said the greatest threat to the American people is climate change. I mean, how about the greatest threat right now is this administration, these failed policies, and these cabinet members that won't enforce the law or uphold the Constitution of the United States.
Yeah.
That, to me, is the biggest threat to the American people. Ignorance and really a dereliction of duty. That's the biggest threat to the American people.
I know we got to wrap it up here, but they've been saying this as long as I've been on this earth. You'll never lose your freedoms all in one great chunk. They're going to take it one at a time, slowly evolve it out of you, and that's exactly what's happening right now. And if you don't raise awareness and be conscious of that when you sit, and we as Americans, the best thing we can do is be aware about it and make your choices known when it's coming to election day. That's the best thing you can do to stop it. But you got to educate yourself and understand the difference between actual good versus them slowly trying to indoctrinate us into taking away some of our freedoms, just slowly, one at a time. And it's happening. And the pandemic was a perfect vessel to do that, because people are willing to sacrifice freedoms for security to a point, and they're going to push that until as far as they can, and they're going to keep pushing until we say no. So how you do that is the ballot box, and that's all I can encourage people to do is exercise that in the ballot box here in June for the primaries and November for the general election. So.
That's right. And I think as these, like you mentioned, the COVID and some of the policies here, and just this crazy train that we're on right now as it relates to just government in general, I think what it also has done, though, is really exposed to really general masses of people that it doesn't have to be political. We have more commonalities than not. And I think it's really, this price at the pump, this lack of groceries on the shelves, that's just not affecting Democrats or Republicans. It's affecting everyone.
Yeah.
And I think, like you say, when you start seeing this, it's death by 1,000 cuts. But when I think people from both sides can start going, wait a minute,
yeah,
this isn't working. And you're absolutely right. The way we change it is to educate ourselves, keep talking about it, and do our due diligence at the ballot box and ensure that we have accountability and transparency in the government that absolutely is trying to take over this is cradle to grave government right now. There is absolutely a real war against our freedoms, our individual rights,
absolutely.
Our Constitution. And it's time to just not be timid about it. We got to talk about these things and help each other understand what's going on.
And please understand, when they try to tell you different, that does not make you any less patriotic or anything else. They're going to use all those tactics, but stand firm to your beliefs and things, because that's what you're allowed to do in this country. And there's a lot of people that made the ultimate sacrifice to ensure you can do that. So let's do that, please.
That is right. That's amen. You are so right.
Yeah. Well, is there anything you wanted to mention before we let you get back to it? I know you got, I'm sure, about 20 things to work on after this. So.
Yeah, I'm just so grateful. Just a heads up, there's another fire that has broken out over on the Gila. We just got word of it yesterday, so it's 1,200 acres contained. So, of course, we're waiting for updates on that. And then I'm going to be heading back to the district later today or tomorrow for sure. So spend some more time in New Mexico. It's always so nice to be home.
Well,
I'm looking forward to that.
Well, good.
Good. Me too.
And anytime you're in town, want to pop in for a visit, always have an open invite, and hope you take advantage of it.
I sure will. I appreciate you so much, and you just have a blessed weekend, and thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, and you too, and thank you for working the good fight for us here in Southeast New Mexico. We do appreciate you.
You're welcome. I'm happy to do it. I'm honored to do it. So, good deal. Well, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a great weekend. When we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Sounds good. Yes,
all right.
sir.
Take care.
Okay.
Thank
all right.
you, ma'am.
Bye-bye. Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. That was Congresswoman Yvette Herrell. Big thank you to her for spending some time with us and you hearing what's going on with the border and all that. I pay attention. This is the stuff, you talk about violence and all that. That's not. Go to the ballot box. We make you known, and that's how we fix this. It's the only way I know how, without, doing something crazy.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Roswell Museum is announcing the return of its film series program. Starting this week, in fact, the springtime series will include 4 Thursday nights starting this week, showcasing films selected by Marie Alarcon. Alarcon is a Philadelphia-based multimedia artist and current Roswell artist in residence. Showtimes are set for 6 p.m. each Thursday evening. The first night features a series of short films, including Afronauts, a film about the little-known 1960s Zambia space program. A Carlsbad man is identified as the victim of a deadly crash in West Texas. It happened Friday on US 62, about 4 miles northeast of the town of Ropesville, Texas. Authorities said 63-year-old Scott Douglas Bendixson was the passenger in a car that was struck by a pickup truck that crossed the center line. The 2 drivers both suffered non-life-threatening injuries, but Bendixson died of his injuries at a local hospital. The crash happened just after 10 p.m. Friday night in Hockley County, Texas. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Live free or die, America and the world on the brink. Well, this is the brink part I was warning about. We did, by the way, I signed some special copies if you want them for Mother's Day. Great gift for Mom. And I'll tell you why. The demand for them has gone through the roof. Because everything we wrote about and predicted could happen is happening. It's even happening faster than I could have ever imagined. Now we're going to they're so wigged out over this ministry of truth. In this country, we're going to have literally a disinformation governance board. Are you kidding me? Proclamations that your children are the government's children? No, parents are not potted plants. Sorry.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Are you a real estate investor looking to refinance one or more of your properties? Most lenders only work with cookie-cutter W-2 borrowers. At Cash Call Mortgage, we have loans designed specifically for investment properties. We qualify customers based on the cash flow from the investment property. Borrowers can get up to $2.5 million. That's right, $2.5 million. No tax returns or employment verification needed for our investment property loans, and absolutely no lender or broker fees. If you're a real estate investor looking to refinance a mortgage on one or more of your investment properties, give Cash Call Mortgage a try. To see if you qualify, visit cashcallmortgage.com or call now, 800-940-0226. That's 800-940-0226. 800-940-0226.
Cash Call Mortgage is a DBA of Impact Mortgage Corp. NMLS ID 128231. Not all applicants will qualify. Equal housing lender. Licensed by California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. Residential Mortgage Lending Act license number 4131083. Not licensed in all states including New York. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions. Or visit cashcallmortgage.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm for the next couple of days. Low pressure is moving across northern New Mexico. No rain for us, but we will have gusty wind around 25 miles per hour through the afternoon. Lots of sun, and we'll be hitting about the 90-degree mark. Clear tonight, down to the upper 40s, and then right around 90 again on Tuesday. Breezy and sunny. Wednesday looks about the same. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Well, the Goddard Rockets had a chance to get the district championship in baseball this past Friday, but lost the first game of a doubleheader against Artesia, and that was the clinching victory for Artesia. They win district by a 4-1 count in that game. Goddard ends up winning the second game 2-1, but Goddard gets the 10th seed, Artesia gets the 7th seed in the upcoming 4A playoffs, and you know what that means? They're going to play each other. That'll be a best 2 out of 3 starting Friday in Artesia. The other playoff pairings were announced, and NMMI gets the 3rd seed in Class 3A, but the Colts won't play until May the 12th. They'll take on the winner of Cobre and Zuni. And Gateway Christian is in action today. The single A playoffs haven't been announced yet. Gateway plays at Dora at 3 o'clock. Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Following Friday's big losses, Wall Street's benchmarks have been bouncing between small gains and losses today. Investors anxious for word from the Federal Reserve, which is holding a meeting this week. The Fed Open Market Committee to release a statement at midweek will be followed by a news conference by Fed Chair Powell. Markets expecting an extra large interest rate hike. A federal labor board is busy counting the ballots cast by warehouse workers in a second Amazon union election in Staten Island, New York. In a previous election, workers at another Amazon warehouse on Staten Island voted to unionize, and that is a first for Amazon in the U.S. Spirit Airlines board still supports Frontier Airlines' $2.9 billion takeover bid. The board saying it determined that JetBlue's competing $3.6 billion offer is not preferable. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Wilbanks Trucking Services in Artesia is seeking dedicated and motivated individuals to join their team. Immediate openings include CDL drivers with pay starting at $25 to $33 per hour depending on experience. Riggers with pay starting at $20 per hour and open positions for lease operators. Wilbanks Trucking Services offers full benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and housing for out-of-town employees. For more information on career opportunities, please call 575-746-6318 or online at wilbanks.us. Wilbanks Trucking Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Hunting season's here again, and LGS Guns & Ammo is stocked up for your next hunt with everything you need. The draw results for New Mexico are in. Put that hunting, fishing, or trapping license of yours to good use and get to LGS Guns & Ammo for the hunting gear you need. Rifles, ammo, scopes, optics, binoculars, and so much more. From brands you know, like Ruger, Sulking, Vortex, and Burris Optics. Right now, take 10% off all firearms, 15% off accessories, and 15% off all Liberty safes. Do hunting season right with LGS Guns & Ammo across from Target in Roswell and at 109 North El Paso in Hobbs.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head?
That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical.
To remember. The National Education Association of New Mexico, a union of teachers and school staff, believes every child deserves to learn at a school that inspires their imagination, cultivates their curiosity, and ensures a fulfilling life. Public schools should provide all our students with small class sizes and one-on-one attention. NEA New Mexico asks you to join us so together we can end the teacher and staff shortage and invest in our public education system once and for all. Sponsored by NEA New Mexico.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:58, about ready to wrap up today's show. If you missed any part of it, you can go back and check it out at your leisure. KSVPTV.com. Just click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, and you'll find it there. Available to you whenever you want it. You can also go to our 1065 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall and find them all there, and our Roswell's Talk FM YouTube channel. You'll find that there as well. Don't forget, All Saints Catholic School has their big golf tournament this Saturday the 7th at Nancy Lopez Spring River Golf Course. An 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. shotgun starts. Go to the pro shop there at the golf course to sign up for teams. If you, I'm not sure how many are left. Last I saw on their Facebook, there was still a few teams left late last week. But also, they got their charity ball drop happening on Saturday as well, and that's going to be after the first flight starts golfing. And so, in between flights, they're going to do the golf ball drop there at Nancy Lopez. You can get a golf ball, and basically how it works is it's got a helicopter on the thing, but I think they do it with the ladder with the fire department, and they drop. They got a big target on the ground, and they got a bunch of golf balls, and you can buy one for $5 or 5 for $20, and the closest to the one who gets the jackpot wins the pot, basically. Go to All Saints Catholic School Facebook page to learn more there. All right, we got to go. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM